got fires in the after chat. Fires in the after chat. Mike's shaking his head right now. Like, don't ever Christopher Walken. That's what Mike's saying. 22 months from the geekiest guy. How's it going, man?
Step up like a man and give us a call sign. Or beat it.
Oh, Spaceman. oh, buddy. Go check out DragonOS and 73Linux. You can just look it up while we're going live here. But, oh, buddy. How's it going, everybody? We're back. We're back. Obviously, great song. That's some of my brand liquid.
Let's play a game. Get your panties out of a twist and give us a call sign or beat it.
So, we're going to catch up with Nick again. We're taking your questions based off of license testing, all that stuff. We're going to try and get through that in the beginning. And we'll take open questions from everybody. That's what the After Chat's all about. But I want to talk about Linux laptops and, well, not laptops, but just Linux in general. And I do have, is it? Yeah. I am running DragonOS. I'm actually, I took all the laptops I have that are old and not willing to chooch Windows anymore, and I put DragonOS on everything. DragonOS is freaking awesome. I'm having so much fun. I'm posting a video next week that's going to be talking about hardware because I definitely have some recommendations, and this goes way back from some of my laptop stuffy stuff that we'll be talking about. But Linux is going to be somewhat of a topic that we're going to get to, so hang on to your butts on that. We'll get right around to that, I promise. But let me get the Discord up here, and I want to make sure that we show how it is that you join us on the HRCC After Chat, although it looks like, whoa, we got a lot of people. Holy smokes, we got a lot of people. That is a crazy amount of people. That's not a joke. That is a lot of people. Where's my Discord? Where is my Discord? What is this? Where are we doing the Discord? Here we go. Let's try this again. Enhance. There we go. Okay. So, yes. Right here above my head, let me scroll up right there. See, it says hashtag live stream, right? If you click on the HRCC Discord, you'll see hashtag live-stream if you scroll down. Those are the chat rooms. These are all the chats we have in the Discord. And then right below that is live-stream/afterchat. You got to go down here in the settings, that little cog, and you got to set your mic and your speaker. Headphones are really, if you can do headphones, please do headphones. And then bind a PTT button so that you can talk. It's like a repeater. It's like talking on a radio. But anyway, if I click on this button right here, we're going to hear some voices, and that's what we're going to do right now.
Yeah, I'm in Muncie.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Good evening.
Good evening. How's it going, everybody?
It's going
Good evening.
Good
Well,
evening. So what's going on?
Poda was Poda. Poda was Poda.
Poda be Poda-ing?
Hey, yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I just got my roll like 2 weeks ago, thanks to Josh.
You got your what? Sorry, you cut out there. What'd you get?
I got my general 2 weeks ago, thanks to you.
Oh,
Put it on Facebook too, and you replied.
Congratulations, buddy. Good job. Yeah.
Yeah,
good work.
K9END. But yeah,
This is the end. My only
I haven't-
friend, the end.
Glad I wasn't the only one.
I haven't gotten out and done any POTA outside a 10 meter
Oh, that's cool.
because, well, it's been too cold.
No problem. Well, good, man. Congrats to you. Good job. Love that. All right. So we are fully in the after chat. You can hear them. They can hear you. We're live right now to the YouTube. So here's how we do this. Since Nick is here and we're coming hot off the heels of talking about getting licensed and all that fun stuff, I'd like to continue that conversation a little bit. So if there's any questions anybody has on the Discord for Nick, Is he in the chat? He probably is, but I didn't even check. Oh, Heather's in the
yeah,
chat
I'm
too.
here.
So, okay, good. So we got Heather and Nick
I'm
here.
here.
Is there anybody who has any questions for Nick, or did you already have some questions you'd like to rehash from earlier that you want to talk about? Questions for Nick or Heather about testing, or anything in and around that area. Let's take them live.
I got a question, but it's not around testing, and it's actually for you, Josh.
Well, that's coming soon, but I wanna respect Nick and now Heather's time too. So if we got questions, I want to make sure we get it to them first. So Nick, were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I'm going to say a lot of things if anybody asks questions. But
James, you there?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What's the best way to join the HRCC VE team?
you are in the Discord, so you can talk to us in that testing questions channel, or we're probably going to tell you to shoot an email to testwithhrcc@gmail.com. Now, full disclosure, we do some vetting, for lack of a better word. We're not doing background checks, but we're checking to make sure you haven't pissed off the mod team or stuff like that.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that. Yeah. Or
They're
B.
checking their list. They're checking it twice.
Checking his list.
I mean, we all know Dom, so.
We all know. Wow. All right, Nick. Oh my God. All right.
Come on, like he wouldn't say it.
Okay.
So in other words, you can't be like me and pissed off QRZ.
No,
no, you
we
can
have
piss them
much
off all
thicker
you want.
skin than the people on QRZ. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah. So James, does that help you out? You're most of the way there. You just have to reach out.
Yeah.
Is there
Fair
a
enough, we'll
form,
do that.
Nick? Is there
Yeah.
a form you have
And
to fill out?
No, just shoot an email that says, "Hey, I want to join the team, and this is who I am."
That's
More
so
info is
easy.
better, right?
Yeah.
But we're human beings. Like,
So you need
be human.
You need social security number. You need the Amex Gold card. You need the all the standard forms of identification, right?
I prefer black, Amex Black.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I mean, if I'm going to go after
ULS,
something,
right?
I'm going as far as I can.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a Delta Reserve kind of guy, right? At this point.
That's fine with me. No, but I mean, we want to make sure you're active in the HRCC community. That's the real goal, right? Active and productive member.
Indeed.
Did y'all?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, did y'all say in the chat? Maybe I missed it. Are y'all associated with GLARG or ARRL or W5YI or?
I intentionally did not say. We are currently using ARRL. They are by far the most flexible, and they're just easy to work with.
Oh gosh,
We have used.
I tested with them. I don't know for VE because you have to test with them, and if you don't already have a VEC or VEC or something from one of the other VECs, and then you have to take this test. Well, I took the test. I sent it in, and have heard nothing, and it's been 6 months now. But anyway, that's between. Right now, I'm fine because I have my W5YI. And I'm using that with a club instead of and I also have a GLARG because I think originally when Chris was doing it, it was GLARG.
We were using GLARG for a while, and then we moved to Sandark for some reasons, and then Sandark wanted to focus on specifically the San Diego area. Because that's where they're based, and that's what they wanted their priorities to be. So they asked us to kind of hold off on using them. So we kind of looked around and weighed the options. ARRL, Josh has good rapport with anyway. Right?
I'm a doors opener kind of guy. That's what I'm here for. I open the doors.
Absolutely. And for all the internet stuff that gets said about ARRL, from the VEC perspective, they're easy and great to work with, and they let us do our thing, right? So
yeah. Now, Nick, do you like a lot of groups are online now? This is a question that I thought of while we were doing the talk, and I forgot to ask it. Are a lot of the other VE teams, are they doing the same kind of thing? They're using exam tools, like, and I know you linked
I
community
probably
to it,
should have
which is
said that.
incredibly important. But like, is everybody kind of using the same technologies now? It's kind of similar.
Exam Tools is doing about half of the testing in the United States, whether it's local in-person sessions or remote. The other half is I can't really tell. I presume it's mostly pen and paper.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Laurel is in there as well. And they kind of have their own thing going on, so I'm not sure what volume that is. The records get really hard to dig into.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Any other
So
questions? Or Don, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got another question. I just thought of. So, Nick, do you know how to become a VEC? Is that even done anymore?
I do know how to do it. It is not a thing right now, and I would argue against anybody that's trying.
Why?
Well,
Because we already have good
yeah.
enough coverage, kind of thing.
There are currently 14 VECs. There is one monster in the room. There are two of them at kind of a second tier, and then the rest kind of fall off in varying degrees of bell curve. There are some VECs that submit a handful of sessions a year, like for a handful of applicants.
Okay.
We don't need more VECs. If somebody wants to do something new, innovative, whatever, the existing VEC structure, like, talk to them, right? Like, there you will find somebody that is willing to, like, let you back it and do it, and right. I think there is absolutely technological and human innovation that can happen in that sphere, but there have been a couple of requests to expand the VEC offering. Nobody's ever truly seen a need to do it beyond, well, I don't like the ones that are here. And that's not a good reason.
Is there any reason to just get rid of VECs altogether and just let the teams send it directly to the FCC?
That would be pandemonium.
Why? And I forgive me because I don't know.
There's a lot of data checking and sanity checking that goes in, and it is truly a 1997 batch file of FTP upload. Right? And there's 5,000 potential error codes that come back. And if you put it in the wrong order, then you have to call it gets really, like, it's a technical job.
And it's also like cheating and stuff like that. Who's going to regulate the teams, all that stuff? The FCC doesn't have the power to do that. Just the staffing to do that.
Yeah, they certainly could, but again, it would be more, at that point they would just take the testing back themselves.
Yeah.
They already get cranky when people make too many errors. Rightfully so, in my opinion. But
sorry, that's just the side of it we don't get to see.
yeah, well, and that's kind of, those are the questions where I nerd out, right? Like, how does that function? And most people don't see it.
Nick, are you like a bureaucrat? Are you in government and policy? Like, is that your thing? You don't have to get into the weeds, but like, is that kind of your jam?
No, I don't really know how to. I don't really know how to describe what I do. I am a process and IT consultant. Okay, that's the best way to describe it. That's my jam.
Because you get into some of this minutia, and I feel like it really grabs you, and like to me, the minutia is like astringent to me. It makes me it makes me recoil.
Sure, I think that's like, that means that the VECs are doing a good job. Right?
Sure.
Because a lot of that is abstracted away. You don't have to think about it. right? And you being the VEs at large.
Well, you said one of my favorite words, abstraction. That's one of my
Exactly.
favorite
Well,
words. Yes.
I have been computer programming for 30 years. Abstraction's a thing.
My favorite thing.
Yeah. But like, if you don't know how the sausage is made and you're happy with what's coming out, that's great. That means the bureaucracy is just working, right? But if you want people that know how it works and why it works, can kind of play with the rules a little more, play with the systems, you know, kind of.
I'll push back on Don a little bit. Don, is there a reason why you think we need another VE, or like what's the...
No, total curiosity.
Okay, gotcha.
I truly don't know, and I had been in a VEC group where the guy that was leading it was very open to us about what was going on behind the scenes. For instance, in W5YI and how all of it worked and who all the players were and how but I was like, well, how come there's only, and I only knew of W5YI and ARRL, and I thought, oh, okay, that's locked. It's never changing. And so Nick's kind of opened my eyes, and it's just interesting.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah,
I would not expect it to change anytime soon.
And I guess I want to reiterate what I think Nick is laying down is that change doesn't need to happen for change's sake. We've already had a lot of change. If there's not a good reason why we need to tip over the apple cart, if you will, then I agree. I think the VECs are working just fine. There isn't a particular reason why I think we need to change anything. But if somebody has a good reason, I'm willing to hear you.
Yeah. I mean, from a model standpoint, it's working fine. There's always, as with any group of organizations, you can come up with reasons why you like or don't like any one of them, right? But as a big whole, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions for Nick regarding testing, VECs, anything along those lines? We got top people monitoring right now that are the best and brightest in the community.
I wouldn't go that far.
The question.
Go ahead, James.
Isn't the VEC coordination also with the FCC for generating the questions and keeping the pool up? Is that correct?
Sort of. So I didn't get into this on the real stream because time is a thing. But the 14 VECs each have at least one member in what is called the NCVEC, the National Council of Volunteer Examiner Coordinators. And they meet and make decisions, right? That group is responsible for nominating and electing what is called the Question Pool Committee. And the Question Pool Committee goes through and makes the tests, makes the question pool, not the tests themselves. Sorry. Historically, it's been by just kind of holding a finger up to the air and seeing which way the wind blows in terms of like, should this change, should it not change, right? Because like, how do you determine whether or not somebody knows what DMR is in a 4-option multiple choice question, right? Like it gets really weird and strange to craft those questions, right? So they didn't really ever have any data to make those decisions. With the popularity of ham study for studying, and then exam tools for the volume of testing that it's doing, Richard has been able to feed them anonymized data and aggregated data about what questions are hard and what questions are like misleading. So they've been able to make more data-driven decisions, which is really cool.
Oh, that is really cool. That's fantastic. That's great to hear.
Yeah. Like this is some of the weeds that, like you can talk about the QPC for an hour alone.
Yeah.
So when you say,
what's that?
So when you say data-driven decisions based on what's hard, what's confusing, whatever, What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that was a whole lot of buzzwords wrapped up in one sentence. So basically, exam tools tracks, or not exams, ham study tracks people's study progress, right? And what questions they've seen and what answers they gave it initially, and how many times seeing it took them to get it right. And it's a 4-option multi-choice question. So there's generally speaking, there's 2 bad answers, 1 distractor, and 1 right answer, right? So how often was the distractor chosen? Are there questions where people are consistently, half the time choosing the distractor instead of the right answer? That's a question you probably want to look at, because the distractor might be too close to the right answer. Right?
So
there are occasions where there have been questions with 2 right answers.
This leads to the whole test making methodology. Now we have better data, because we can literally use ham study as a better data tracker for being yeah, the distractor is a little too close to the right answer,
right.
So we might want to wordsmith that.
Yeah, and they do publish errata, right, where they take questions out. Ham study, there is a diff floating around, a differential, a comparison because the question pool is rolling over in June for tech. And he does a comparison every time that happens between the old pool and the new pool and what changed. Right, so that's floating around. There's a link in the testing questions somewhere. I'll dig it up at some point. Right, so you can literally see, these are the decisions they made about what to change because whatever reason.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that question up is I listened to a podcast where a couple of folks, and they might be on stream, sorry if they are, but they ranted for quite a while because they didn't understand the sausage making part of that process. And that's why I asked the question, so somebody who's of knowledge would give a better answer than fluff. It's a very good description.
So Jake said, because of that, I'm out. And I don't know if it was the timing of the answer that Nick was giving, but I want everybody to consider for a minute, right? When everybody's doing paper testing, there isn't fill out your comment card at the end of the test for people to get value data back to them to be I found the 13th question confusing. There's not a lot of that existed when we were doing paper testing, but we can infer a lot of confusion from ham study when you're doing the practice exams. And I want to be really clear. We want to test real knowledge. We don't want to create obstacles in the form of poorly written questions or just confusing questions that aren't actually asking for the technical answer we're looking for. And so this is good. Everything Nick's saying is really, really value added data. This is the type of data I love. It's data that you can pour over and go, we can see a trend here that this question is written in a weird way that there's a confusing syntax to begin with, but then the distractor that Nick already pointed out is leading to more confusion, right? Would you say that's kind of same thing, Nick?
Yeah, that's absolutely, yeah. And you also have to tack on top of that, you need to remember what each of the elements are intended to test, right? So element 2 for your technician is, the vast majority of it is regulatory, right? It's rules and safety. It's not technical.
Right.
It's not intended to be it's a badly named technician license, right? The FCC wants to know, do you understand that if you put 1500 watts through something and somebody grabs onto it, they're going to get an RF burn, right? What are your band edges, right? Don't transmit on MCOM frequencies, right? Yeah. What happens if you do? Well, and how do you test those concepts without being able to have a practical side of it?
Well, you need the back end, right? The back end data didn't exist before. When it was in paper format, we didn't really have a back end repository of how people tested. But with ham study, we do get insight. I think that's kind of the word, the
Right.
buzzword we need here is insight. We get insight into how human beings are actually taking the test, which is exactly what we want. This is very important.
Yes, and it's not perfect, right?
No, of course
Nothing
not.
about any of this
But
is perfect.
But it's way more
But
information than we had in
way-
the past. Way more. Way
exactly.
more. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we actually have a feedback loop that you've just discussed, and that's much better than we've ever had.
Yes, it is.
And
honestly,
Extra was changing in June.
Oh, somebody was talking over. What was? Who was that? Who was the other person?
That was me. Nick was saying technicians changing in June. I thought it was extra changing in June, not tech.
No, it's tech. It's Element 2 changing in 2026.
Element 2. What's Element 2 mean?
Technician.
Oh,
Technician.
Okay.
There's three elements that you take, right? Element 2 is for technician. Element 3 is for general. Element 4 is for extra.
I heard it was not a big change though this time. Gordo
I
keeps
haven't really
repeating
looked.
that. Gordo keeps repeating that.
There's-
Oh, technician's not a big change this year. It's not a big change. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Gordo. I hope so, because I'm going to be doing these videos like for the rest of my life.
The technician exam hasn't really changed in a couple of cool rollovers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's some semantic changes, but there's not a major knowledge change.
So at some point, do we think they'll eventually get it right and never change it again?
No,
I hope not, because that means that technology stopped moving forward.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I that was a joke, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Josh, when are you going to start the extra series?
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. When is it real? When does it roll over? I might do it after the rollover. Didn't it refresh
2028.
Oh,
28.
that's not enough time. I have to do it before then. Yeah.
Doesn't Leia do that on the podcast?
Well, yeah, but Dawn, do you know how long it takes her to get through 5 questions, and it's just repeating so many of them over and over again? There's 500 questions in the extra pool. The extra pool is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they'd have left it advanced and extra, it wouldn't be that bad.
Well, then I'd have 4 video series that I'd have to make. What are you talking about?
Well, heck, when I did it, it was 5.
What do you mean 5?
Hey, Josh,
5.
I did the math on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think she'll get through all the questions in the 4 years that it's a valid
Josh,
test.
I'm just giving you a little grief there, bud.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how quickly I'm going to get on that extra train. We'll see how it goes.
So,
well, what's funny about that, Josh, is I met you at Hamvention last year.
Yeah, buddy.
And I gave you a little grief about the general, which you didn't have up yet. It wasn't but a month or two later you started posting on the general. You literally got me through tech and general.
All right, buddy.
I'm counting on you to get me through extra, bud.
Extra's a whole nother ball of wax, dude. That's way more involved, some of those questions. Way more. The math is way more involved too. Like it's not trivial. Like I'm not gonna say general's trivial. I would never say that, but there's way more involved. But I tell you what, start studying now. Don't wait on me on this one. Go ahead and start studying, buddy.
I've got a question for Nick, if I can interject here.
Is it Elle Marie? Go ahead.
Hey everyone. As far as the future of radio, is there tools, like you're talking about data-driven tools? Are there tools when it comes to like seeing an expectation of how many testers are going to be within the next couple years, the next year, the next month, and then maybe that can determine like how many VEs or how many VECs you're going to need in the following years?
That's a really, really big question. Well, it's a small question with a really, really big answer. The short answer is no. Because at the end of the day, amateur radio is a hobby, right? So there's not really any sort of market need or market comparison to bounce forecasting off of, right? So there's not really a good way to project that. You can look back at historical licensing data, which I did recently, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. But essentially, what year did they get rid of the Morse code requirement? Was it 2007 or 2017? It was one of those.
Seven.
So prior to 2008, we were licensing between 10 and 15,000 new amateurs a year, give or take. Those are really round numbers, right? When they got rid of the code requirement, that number immediately jumped up between 25 and 30,000. COVID was not the highest years of licensure, and last year was about 25,000. There is not any the bottleneck is not testing. Let me say it that way, right? ARRL alone has somewhere in the neighborhood of 20,000 VEs. There's not a lack of testing ability. That's one of the biggest reasons the FCC punted the testing, right? Like, you don't have to schlep to one of the 23 field offices 100 miles away and blah, blah, blah. Great, awesome. That leads to a whole lot bigger question of where are those 25,000 people going? Because the air is not the answer. But that's a different conversation.
Okay. Thank you for answering. That's more than I anticipated. 25 to 30,000. That is each year. That's quite an incredible amount.
Yeah, it's not a few.
All right. Are there any more questions for Nick talking about amateur radio licensing, or what goes into all that, the sausage making, if you will?
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Go for it.
So this was asked in the prior live stream just a little bit earlier, and I don't think I ever saw an answer to it. I joined this one a little bit late, so forgive me if it's already been covered. Somebody asked, and I thought this was a great question, did any of you see Ham Shack TV's live stream of Chris Bowden getting his license, and what do you think of that? And was that the first possible instance ever of it being live streamed?
This is a situation that has been blasted all over the internet that I think should not have been. So far as I know, it is the first live streamed exam. I'm sure somebody else has, but there's audience and reach questions, right? I'm certainly not in that space all of the time. I wouldn't even necessarily know if it happened. I think that people were very quick to jump on Monday night quarterbacking the exam and drew a lot of conclusions from that, which may or may not be correct. I have no idea, and I don't really necessarily want an opinion on it. But at the end of the day, ARRL put the test through the FCC. So if anybody had any issue with it, they didn't call the VEC. Or they did, and ARRL said.
Session, and I was also the one to bring up, is this allowed? And we checked. It didn't seem like there was anything, that said we couldn't.
Oh, yeah. Live streaming is there's nothing inherently wrong with live streaming an exam, according to Part 97 in my reading of it, right? Like, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm certainly not your lawyer, right? There's the catchphrase. There's nothing that says you can't live stream anything, right? The question is, do the 3 VEs who signed that 605 believe that exam met the levels of security to say that Chris Bowden didn't cheat?
As one of the VEs whose signature is on that exam, I, Mike, K8MRD, Amateur Extra, VE for the ARRL and GLARG, say yes, we feel
there you go.
It was secure.
And like I said, there are a whole lot of people that have a whole lot of opinions about whether or not that's true. I don't think he cheated personally. I don't.
No,
that's
I don't.
Different conversation from a different
chat.
Mike, was he watching the chat? Mike, Was he watching the chat, Mike?
Somebody, like, people, and we say don't answer the questions in the chat. And what do people do? They answer the questions in the chat. So I typed it into the chat, and then Josh had that on the screen the whole time. Do not answer these questions. Just shut up. But we all feel that he did not have. He's a smart guy anyway. He would have passed it. It doesn't matter.
Wait,
but we all feel
this is a different Josh.
No, Ham Shack TV, Josh.
Okay, I'm like, I had nothing to do with this.
Because we talked about this. Because
keep your name out of my mouth.
I was trying to get a glass of ice. I stepped away for a second, and we just opened Pandora's box. Jesus. All right.
There are other people, Josh. It's not always about you, Josh.
Well,
I mean, in my world it is, but not,
Thank you.
Yeah. So no, we had a long discussion about, like, should we do this? Can we do this? After, like, I kind of reprimanded one guy in the chat and, like, dude, what's your deal? Why do you not understand? Don't answer the questions. He got it. I think he sent me an email that I deleted. But yeah, like, it was legit. I firmly believe it was legit.
I tend to agree with you. I think that there are a few things that most remote testing teams do that would have dispelled those questions before they got asked. And I think that's where people went, whoa, what's going on?
What would another testing team do that would dispel any questions?
Turn the chat off. Turn the chat off.
Right. Share the whole window instead of just the test session. Right? Because, like, if you're watching his screen, how do you tell if he's clicking off of the web browser?
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
right?
I didn't
Stuff
know
like
about
that.
this. When did this happen, Mike? Mike, when did this happen? Murder.
It was a couple Thursdays ago.
Okay,
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
What did he disappear?
If you guys follow Chris Bowden at all, you'd know that he could pass the test.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
had
the
to get a
question.
refresher. Yeah, this was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so
I don't think he was. I mean, I watched the whole thing. Like, he's not. You can look at his eyes. He's not looking off here. Like, you can tell when someone's kind of looking away or whatever,
And he's a legit science gangster.
Wait.
I mean,
that's why.
Like, that doesn't mean anything in the whole grand scheme of things. But
it's not.
I don't. If I felt he was cheating, as much of a, no matter what you think of me, I am a very honest person, and I hold my integrity very, very dear. Okay. Other than that, I'm the most horrible person in the world, and everything you hear about me is true.
So that's why I like you, Mike. That's the integrity.
Right.
Literally, I'm not even joking about that. But hold on. It's not. So I think a lot of times when we talk about process, we think about, like, the average common person, and in this case, we're talking about somebody that's, like, exceptional going through the process. So I'm assuming he could qualify. He could pass in any format of testing. He'd be able to pass it. But the online streaming testing, I'm not saying he cheated. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, the process is something that maybe I'm also, I think it's a great idea. If somebody wants to live stream a testing session, I think that's great. But I probably would turn the chat off for that. Personally, I would do that. I get that that's, like, that's not the community, all the conversation, all that stuff, which is great to start. I think you start off by shutting off all the chat. And then once people get the idea of, like, oh, yeah, we're not answering the questions, and then you can bring it back. But it seems so
you don't
easy.
have to,
well, go ahead, Nick.
You don't have to turn the chat off for him. You don't have to turn the chat off for everybody.
Oh, I might.
Just have him not in it.
If you said,
yes, you do.
Hey, Josh, if you're live streaming, if you want to, you're going to be the first person that's going to live stream a testing session, I would turn the chat off. As the creator of that live stream, I would just shut the chat off.
But how do you temporarily turn the chat off on your YouTube stream?
You can shut it off.
There's an option
is there? I haven't live streamed in so long on my own. I don't
just shut it off.
There has to be some sort of way to make it so that he can't see the chat.
That's
I don't
what I'm
care
saying.
if everybody else can see it.
Whomever is live streaming, they should just shut the chat off. They should just turn the chat off.
To be fair to Josh, Ham Shack TV Josh.
Oh, okay.
None of this was planned. None of it was planned.
Well, see, I don't like that either. I don't like that either. I wanted to be... if you're going to be the first person to live stream a testing session, it should be planned. But sorry, Gray Man, for cutting you off. Go ahead, finish your thought.
But no, I mean, it was
get asked.
Well, somebody,
no good things that come are planned.
Yeah, somebody sent Chris the link to the chat just to jump in the live stream because it was during the snow and everything, right? So he showed up, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, by the way, I need to go take my test again because my license had expired." And so somebody's like, "Hey, let's do it now." Hey, I'm game for that. I can do it. And that's it literally was that quick.
Oh, so it was just a snowball effect, and the guy who clicked the link was Josh, who was live streaming. Am I on the right?
No,
path?
No. Somebody had sent Chris Bowden a link and said, "Hey, if you're doing nothing tonight, do you want to jump into our live stream?"
Chris was live streaming. Or who was live streaming?
Josh, Hamshack TV. And then
it's you guys. Oh no, Hamshack TV. Never mind.
Hamshack, and then Chris saw it. He said, "You know what?" And he jumped. He came in as a guest. And while he was like, "Hey, this is pretty cool. I'm doing Meshtastic. I need to get my ham radio license again. It's expired. And I need to take a test." And somebody's like, "Well, you know what? We can give you a test here." Bam. There we go. It was that quick. There was no pre-planning. There was nothing. He did this on the fly.
Yeah.
And I will say this. He dropped more F-bombs than any other amateur radio exam in the entire history of all history. And F-bombs.
I'm sure that was a very popular live stream for them. That was a very live stream.
This was like an hour 3.5 or 4 of an hour and a half live stream. So
okay. So I'm assuming that is a lot of fun to go back and watch. I should go back and watch it. But
so Josh,
there's nothing abnormal about any of that part of the situation, right?
Like the F-bombs are normal, Nick, for most people testing a huge volume of sedatives.
We should ask about Chrome tabs someday. But it just in the world, right? Like, hey, I'm ready to test. It's time. I want to test now. That's been a thing for as long as testing has been a thing, right? Like, there's nothing abnormal there.
Tell that to professional drone pilots testing. They definitely will not test you at any time you want.
Oh, yeah. Are they even doing that still?
Yeah, you have to.
You guys did not hear me take my general test.
And Josh, I will say this. About 5 minutes ago now, I did drop the other Josh's live stream of Chris Bowden taking his test in the chat. It was 2 weeks ago that this happened.
Yeah.
But got it. Wait, so Josh is not Hamshack TV.
No, Josh is Hamshack TV.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I asked. I was like, Josh was live streaming, and then you're like, oh no, it's Hamshack TV. I'm like, okay, got it. Okay.
Josh equals Hamshack TV.
Yes.
So then give me a yes and don't give me a no. I'm not saying you, Frank. I'm saying whoever said that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Frank.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Man. Wow. All right. So, did we answer the question? I literally went to go get ice, and now we missed the whole thing.
That's the question I was hoping nobody would ask.
Why? Why does that bother you, Nick?
It
go
doesn't
ahead.
bother me.
It's
a situation that ran around the internet and is.
Think of it this way.
Point, just gossip.
It's not a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
We showed the world, all 1,000 people that have watched the video, whatever, how to take an amateur radio test.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
There was no cheating. We did it legit.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. We streamed a guy taking a test.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't stream a guy taking a test while looking at the chat or looking at the answers. We all collectively, as VEs, agreed that what we are doing is within the guidelines of the amateur radio VE testing session. It's really no different than if you're say you're at a club meeting and you have a VE session there and you got a bunch of people behind the guy watching. No different. It's just online.
Mike, no hate from me, promise. I don't think he cheated, right? I don't think there was anything wrong there. I think people saw a couple of minor things and ran with it, and it became a lot of noise. And
That's
I don't
not
think
a thing
it
that
deserves
happens on the internet at all.
right or in ham area, right? And I think it needs to just at this point it just needs to die. That's why I was hoping.
You know what?
Asked
If it disturbed a lot of people, that's a good thing, because that means that. So look at what happened after COVID when what you are doing currently right now with online testing. How many OMs did that piss off?
Oh, I know.
Does me being a no code extra piss off? You know,
I am a no code extra that will contest at 45
to break ground. You have to piss off people to break ground.
Good point, Mike.
To further what we're doing. We have rovers on Mars. We have satellites that are outside of our solar system.
Literally.
And yet people think there's.
Uh-oh. I just dropped. That was weird.
Ticket, and we have to learn that 5 words a minute code. Who the hell does CW at 5 words a minute?
5 words a minute is the worst way to teach CW.
My pappy did. My pappy did.
20 words a minute.
And how many people
who
learned code at 5 words a minute still do code? Nobody.
Now,
I would argue
Mike,
0.
Mike, before Dawn gets to it, it was 13 words a minute, and yeah.
I practice at 20 to 22 words a minute sending, but I'm also a heavy metal guitarist, so that's kind of slow for me. But just saying.
So, if we want to branch into CW, that is my other.
Well, hold on. I gotta do some housekeeping.
A whole few hours there.
I gotta do some housekeeping.
I think we screwed CW.
Well, hold on. Jesus, hold on. You lit a match on a fuse by saying that. So hold on a second.
Oh,
so there's
yes,
a number
I
of
did.
people who are watching right now, and they're like, "We're supposed to be talking about Linux." The show topic, we will talk about Linux eventually, but the after chat, we answer questions in the beginning. And Nick graciously is sharing his time with us. He is the head of the HRCC VE team from the previous show, and so we're taking open questions for that. We are going to also get to open questions of ham radio, and then we will talk about Linux. So I appreciate that the title, if you're like, oh, Linux all the time for me, that's all I ever want to talk about. I get it. I'm sorry. It's going to be a little bit later. So, by the way, DragonOS is great. It's really easy. Go just spool up an image. It's fantastic. Throw an SDR on the side of your computer and start having fun. And then we'll talk about it. You'll already have the image running. Go use DragonOS. It's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I got that out of the way. What? Who else has a question for Nick or Heather or any of the VEs like Mike in the chat that can answer some questions if you got VE questions?
I've got a minor comment. I don't know if anyone else experienced this with their testing, but after I took my tech and then another time my general, they didn't give me my test scores. I don't know if anyone else experienced that.
I didn't get my extra or general test scores, and I did it in person.
It depends.
Yeah, I did mine both in person.
Question.
Good answer, Nick. Good answer. It depends. Good answer. Good answer.
It really does. So if you take your test on paper, the team has a limited pool of exams. They've only got 4, 5, 6 exams that they can give you. They're not allowed to give you the answers. If you take it on exam tools, teams are allowed to give you the answers. There's no requirement to. And honestly, I would be in favor of not even giving out the score. I would be in favor of just converting it to pass-fail. There's not a whole lot you can learn from getting the wrong answers, or like the questions that you got wrong, other than
the sub-elements. Because all those questions come from a sub-element. Those sub-elements are areas that you could go like, oh yeah, I probably need to learn more about that. Like that, I never thought. Just think about it the same way that you were talking about statistics coming from like ham study about people who messed up questions. Like, I think that's just as good feedback to the test taker and like what they got wrong.
If people ask me for it, I will happily give them the answers, right? I'm not going to sit there and argue with people about it. Mm-hmm. I think there is far more educational value in picking up a radio and hitting the PTT button than poring over questions that you missed.
My personal thoughts on this, Nick, are most people don't have the the hardware or the friend groups to experience all the things that are covered in the amateur radio test, particularly when you get to general. So if you give them the feedback on what they got wrong, then those are areas that they can like go deep dive if they're so inclined to do so. I think that's value added information.
I refer them back. I refer back to the community comment.
Hold on, Nick, what were you saying?
Oh, I said I refer back to the community comment at that point. Right, like that's why I feel like community is so valuable.
Yeah, but I mean, like you have
to
like
you're not wrong, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Right, like you're.
But they have to
right,
know, like if they got antennas and feed lines, if they got, if most of the questions in the question pool that they got, like when they spooled up the test, came out of antennas and feed points, then that's a great thing to bring up in the HRCC Discord to talk about, right?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I don't disagree there. I'm just saying, like, if the question you missed was, do you get high impedance at half wavelength or quarter wavelength? Right? You're going to get better educational and practical knowledge from using a VNA and building your antenna and running your feed line than worrying about, well, which 3 questions did I miss?
But won't they need to know the
but do you have that?
Look? But won't they need to know the direction to look because they got those questions wrong? Because otherwise they're stumbling in the dark to figure out what they don't know versus like you got these questions wrong. You should, if you want to go look into that, the HRCC Discord is a great place to ask those questions. You know what I mean? Is that what I'm?
Which is why I say if somebody asks for it, I give it to them. Right? Okay. Like if that's how you learn, great, cool, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm a hands-on person.
Gotcha. Okay. Was it K9END? KE9END. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of agree with Nick here because, I mean, I started out as basically an appliance operator, and I still am in some ways. You know, I memorized enough of the questions for my technician and my general to pass them, and I've been figuring it out as far as hands-on, real practice since then. And what I couldn't figure out, I'm either asking questions here or on Facebook or whatever, or I'm Googling. You know, I mean, for some of us, it's not so easy to have that knowledge up front. Some of us actually have to practice to learn it.
No, I don't question that. I'm talking about getting the answers back after you take the test. Like when you are ready to take the test and you take the test, and yes, there are many VEs that don't give the feedback. They just say pass fail.
Yeah.
Which I'm not, by the way, I'm not against just a pass fail. Like to me personally, I get the pass fail and I walk away. I don't care. But there are some people, and I'm going to ask Heather, do you have your mic? Are you able to take this question? Because I wanna know some secret information about my wife. Heather, are you there? Heather, I'm putting her on the spot right now.
I see her, but she's on mute.
Yeah, I think she's on mute. Shoot.
I think she's on
Nick,
radio
were you on
silent
Leia's testing panel?
I think for general.
Oh, great.
Not for tech. Certainly not for tech.
Did she ask you what questions she got wrong?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
So my wife is the epitome of the person who wants to know exactly what she got wrong.
Yeah.
Because she wants to know, like, she wants to go back and, like, understand and learn and get more from that. Because if the test thought it was important and the fact she got it wrong to her would have been, like, not a failure, but something that she needs to circle back on, right? Like, that would be, and I know there are plenty of people, and I know my wife would ask, so that's why I'm asking. Me, I'd be like, peace out, I'm done. Later.
Well, actually, using Leia as an example.
Yeah.
Right, she passed her general, and clearly you have HF hardware, right? Like, and community, like, she's not lacking for anything radio related, right?
Nick, so yes, you're right. By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you on the main point, but my wife leads life by milestones and achievements, right? So you got to think like type A.
No, that's exactly where I'm going
set a
with
marker. Well, but you don't give the wishy-washy, go do more HF. You've got to be pointed. I have got a weakness because I failed this question. Let me go figure out the answer to better understand that, right? That's what they're looking for. Yeah.
Right, but my question was going to be, had she mastered the things that she tested correctly on?
Oh, so now you're dipping into a whole nother thing. Oh, see, now you're opening So, Nick,
and I know the answer.
Wait, so Nick, but now we're dipping into a whole nother thing. So, the big question then, do you want people to master the amateur radio skills before they upgrade to general?
Oh, are you trying for clickbait?
Well, no, you're the one that opened this box. You're the one that's like, had she mastered those skills? No, of course not. She's getting the license to go to HF.
I 100% believe that technician and general are licenses to learn. Memorize them
out of the
and
way.
pass. Get them out of the way and go pick up a radio.
So then give them the answers.
Extra.
Yeah.
So extra, learn some stuff. Right.
By the way, you and I, simpatico, completely agree. But then I'm of team, give them the things they failed on so they can take those away as their weak points and then go learn.
Sure, but my point is it's all weak points.
I mean, yes, but confidently, I think that when people look at some of the questions, they're like, no, I know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without having to, they can conceptualize it easier. A lot of things require
without even having to study.
I see. Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from. Okay. I would still, I know that Leia would want to know exactly what she got wrong. Me personally, I'm going to go take it away and just go operate and get on the air with it. So, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And like I said, I would give it to her, right? Because I'm not going to sit there and argue with somebody, because if that's how you learn, go learn. But I don't necessarily think you know how to operate an HF rig when you pass general.
Oh, we got Steve.
So,
Steve,
I was about to say, I want to hear what Steve has to say here.
Steve's in the chat says, memorize and pass completely summarizes the problem.
Oh, no, Josh, he said something one better just a couple minutes ago. He says, no, you need the skills to master license the skills.
But the problem, that's the thing, Steve.
But I wish. And if the testing were set up, see, if there's that part.
Well, we got him in here. We got him in here. Let Steve go ahead. I want to hear this.
I'm sorry, I won't, and I won't take much time on this. I do have I have an opinion on this, and by the way, I have taught before, so I do have some experience. I've taught at the university level, so I understand the concept. But there used to be a point where you took the exam that prepared you for the license class. You then experienced the license class, and if you wanted to move on to the next higher class, you studied for that class. Part of that was gaining the skills that you attained as the license you were. So for instance, in the novice exam intentionally was minimal, 5 words a minute. It was, and yeah, I agree 100%, knowing now 5 words a minute was miserable when all of a sudden you had to go to like 13 or 20. Right. But you learned 13 words a minute, you learned basic theory, and you attained the skills in that license class to do things like build your first radio. Most of us did because you couldn't buy one. They were too expensive. And you did this out of need. You did this out of necessity. And it wasn't pretty. My first 40-meter sweep tube transmitter was built on the bottom of a cake tin that I took from my mom and later paid the price for it. But, none of this stuff was pretty. You built it. You got on the air. You had QSOs, you loaded the black and yellow wire on the phone line and waited for the bell truck to come and fix it a week later. You did all this stuff, and then you made friends. You mastered. Well, I should say you mastered the skills, but you gained the experience in that license class, and then you moved on to the next one. And back in the day, the novice exam was only, the novice class was only good, the ticket was only good for a year. You had to move on.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I mean by that is it was more than just memorizing the teaching to the test. And there's some rote memorization. Sure, there's rote memorization, band plans, frequencies. I get that. But when you're just memorizing concepts to just pass the test, and then you get into it and you're just completely unprepared to operate with the class that you have, that's just a recipe for disaster. And I think that's kind of the culture we have. I'm not minimizing the effort to do it. I'm just saying that the steps that we're taking to get there are just completely antithetical to the learning process that we use, you know, even in academia or in other you know, in other vocations that require the learning. For instance, a plumber. You know, plumber's going to spend 4 years as a journeyman before they can move on. So there's a period of time where you have to spend some time in your station and learn what you need to do to move on.
But
I think I'm going to blow your mind.
Anyways, I'll stop there. But that's
no.
Thank you, Steve.
You're not. Can I? Yeah, let me take this one because I think.
Well, I'm going to add my thoughts after you're done.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't think you're wrong.
Okay.
But we don't test that way, and we don't have the communities set up to do that currently.
Bingo.
I'm with you.
I would be 100% on board if we had a practical exam and we had strong clubs. We do not.
I'm with you 100%. I am in violent agreement with you. I think that culture, that thing that we used to have as a hobby is gone or has been eroded. It's not there like it used to be.
Correct. And this is not the time or place, but there are opinions around why, right? But if we were testing practical skills, right? If part of the exam was get on an HF radio, operate with me as the control operator, and make an HF QSO, I would be 100% on board with you.
Yeah.
Yep. I won't disagree with you.
That is the problem. Is Steve's argument is going towards the realm of operation and practical understanding about how to be safe and how to build things correctly.
Yes.
The multiple choice test is not actually the vehicle to do that, as Nick is pointing out.
Correct.
I agree with both of you in that sense. If that's where we're going, yes. And that's part of the problem is when you have a multiple choice test, hearkening back to the days of yore, that usually meant that someone would get a technician license or whatever license, and then they'd go to a club, and they would be able to work with the other amateurs that had higher level classifications, and then they could use their equipment under their guidance. Those days are gone, or they exist to some degree.
Right.
But those days are gone. Like, those days are gone.
Yeah.
So now it turns into, it's a license to learn. That's kind of where we're at because there is no other option, right? You're watching me on YouTube right now. You watch my videos on YouTube because I'm trying to instill some of that information. But what have I always said is that you can't replace in-person tutelage of how to do things by watching a YouTube video, particularly in something like amateur radio. We try and get close. A lot of us do that, but like this past weekend for Winter Field Day, going out with the W6TRW Club, we had a bunch of newer folks come over, and we put them on we got them on the radio, we got them operating, and they got practical knowledge, practical understanding. They came out for the antenna builds and building all that stuff up. That is worth more weight than 10 of my videos that you can watch, right? That's the big problem. And so I see where both of you are going now, and I can't really argue that hard about it because I agree with you in that fundamental space. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Could you not incorporate mock practice as a part of the exam?
No.
Mock radio. Oh,
no.
Well,
I wish.
why not?
Well,
I would be on board with that.
But is it El Marie?
Yeah.
Okay. So, by the way, there are countries that do practical examinations where they have to like set up a radio, do some connections and stuff like that. There are still countries that do that, but that's not a part about a part of this country's amateur radio licensing. So, no, I've bumped into people in ham radio outlet that they went from 0 to extra in a weekend, basically. And they're like, I don't know anything about radio. What do I buy? And you're like, okay. So
that was me when I got my first UHF VHF rig. I'm like, I don't know what I need. Just I know I want a mobile rig. Just what do I need?
So what's interesting about this, though, and this is where I will add kind of the other side of this. I think that many of the vaulted gates of knowledge that we've held in amateur radio, it's like, oh, yes, you must go learn from people who do HF, and you must have this tutelage before you can get on the air. The reality is it's actually not that difficult. It's really not that hard. You maybe watch somebody do something once or twice, and you're like, oh, I get it. And so, yes, a lot of people are inferring knowledge through watching YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagrams, all that stuff. So how far have we, like, this is like, have we put ourselves on a pedestal of like, oh, this is knowledge you can attain, versus how much of this can we just get from rote copying things that we've watched online? And then the true depth is like this technical space that Steve exists in and other people exist in. For most people that just want to get on the air and operate, I think a lot of them can pick up most of it from YouTube and all that. Like, watch Mike do a POTA activation, and you're like, oh, I get it. Watch Thomas Witherspoon's videos of going from 0 to fully set up to operating. That's a really good replacement for people that don't have any idea what the hell they're doing, and can be on the air from that. It may not be like, oh, I want to talk on the microphone, and there's plenty of videos that do that too, and he's doing CW or whatever, but you get the idea. So I think humans are really good at copying, and I think that a lot of the copying in operation, it will get you most of the way there, but the deeper magics, the deeper lore, that I can see how you need a community.
And
Well, so Josh, Mike N8YO just a minute or two ago made a very good point here that I think will tie this together pretty well.
Okay, Mike, where is he? Why is he not talking?
On Discord.
No, he can just talk.
I'm here.
Just say the thing, Mike.
Slacker.
No, I typed it in there, but what I was saying is I've thought for a long time. So first off, I will lead off with, I don't fault anyone for, if you get your ticket, you get your ticket. That's how it is. I've felt for a long time that we should probably go to more like what the FAA does with
like
the written
hours?
exams.
Clocking hours? You got to clock
No,
operator hours?
not on the practical. I am not proposing practical at all. But with the theory stuff, what they do is they publish. These are the questions. You will have this many questions on this topic. Boom, 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 boom. And there is a question pool available. Like UAS has it this way. It's like you have this many on aeronautical maps. You have this much on flight patterns, etc. Whatever. And
those tests
when you actually take the
that's the airman's knowledge test. It's pretty stiff too.
Yeah, and when you actually take the test, it's slightly different than what you get when you study for it. But but if you learn how to get the answer, then you get the answer when you take the test. So it's a little bit more of a, do you actually understand it kind of approach.
Well, how are they writing the tests that allow for that? Because it's still multiple choice, right?
Correct. It is multiple choice.
So what is it that they do that's different from just memorizing it? Because you could still do that with any kind of test.
They change variables. They change the maps that you use. It's a little bit. It's going to be different for the actual test. It's not going to be what you study for.
It's not a published question pool.
Correct. It's
not.
I see.
Right.
Exam. Yep.
I'm gonna push back a little bit. For technician and for basic HF operating privileges in 2026, is any of that actually necessary? Is Ohm's law necessary? Is this, that, and the other necessary?
Probably not.
I don't think our license classing reflects what is actually happening, right? But this is a way bigger conversation, right? Where we're sitting in 2026 is ICOM, Kenwood, Yaesu, whatever. They all push out appliances that you can plug and play with some pretty basic knowledge, and what you need is a band plan, right?
I see
so
where
if
you're
you and this is, again, this does not reflect today.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's
Right.
like we're creating hurdles for things that don't really matter for the thing that we're giving the privileges out for. Is kind of the point, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
I can see that.
And I would be 100% on board with changing the testing to like simple things like don't rote memorize the band plan. Let people who are testing use a band plan. Like, I don't care
on
if
the
you
test?
have,
Yeah, totally.
right.
Totally,
Like, I don't care if you've
totally.
memorized 40 meters phone privileges. That's stupid.
Right.
It's the first thing people forget. Print out the band plan and put it next to your radio.
Well, that's what we
all
say. Like,
do.
put the band plan next to your radio, regardless of the license you have, unless you're extra. But even then, it's
Right.
like, yeah,
Well,
like
even
you should
then.
be operating in your band space.
Right. And I don't care if you have memorized what your band space is. I care that you know how to figure that out. But our testing doesn't allow for that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. There's lots of areas that could be improved upon. I don't question that.
Yeah. Right. So where we are today currently is you have to have a published question pool, and it has to be multiple choice. If that's the case, and the majority of equipment, the vast majority of equipment is appliances, right? Because gear today is very different than gear in 1975. And I love my boat anchors.
What?
Like, I've got 2 of them sitting on my desk right now. But it's vastly different. So let's lean into what it is and get people on the air, get people engaged, and get people like actually playing radio.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. It's a good time.
Sure.
And I agree with, I think it was Steve who just said that, get people going and all that. And most radios are appliances. I'm sitting here with 3 of them, all 3 Yaesus on my desk. But the other thing is the community part of it.
Right.
Right. Because anybody can go buy a radio.
Yeah, but where I live, there's almost no community for anybody with a job as far as ham radio. Because all the club meetings, this, that, and the other.
Welcome to the HRCC Discord. You're here. You made it. You got a community.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to, is because this is the closest thing to a community I've run into so far.
This is a community.
Yeah.
Not the closest thing. This is a community.
Well, I mean, as far as, where I can't go face to face like I can if we had something around here. But this is the closest. I mean, I'm sitting here with a 991, FTX1, a 510, and I'm still figuring them out, especially the FTX1 on HF. That thing's tricky.
Voice chat's a thing.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Right? Like, it's not a 1-to-1, and I agree with you there. But voice chat's a thing.
Yeah, I understand what you're. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with what you guys are throwing down.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
I agree that most of the radios are largely appliances. I do still think there is some carefulness that needs to be taken, because I got my General, and then I got a G90 and hooked it all up and was all excited, and I made my first contact outside the band. Like, I didn't realize it until I was looking back at what I'd written down. I was like, oh, I made a contact outside where I was allowed to go. And that was the first contact I ever made.
Yep.
And nobody. You're good though. You're fine. You realize.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew I was fine. No, it's not like I thought the FCC was going to come knocking on my door or anything. But I think it's important that we make sure people understand where they're supposed to be and know that they still need to be careful not to go outside of that. Even though it is an appliance, it's not going to stop you from going outside the band.
Hey, listen, I got yelled at on 14300 because I dared to aggress upon the boats that we're protecting out on the air on field day. So I get it.
Dare you?
Were you on the Bodie McBoat face now?
Don't mess with America's boats. I get it. We're not messing with America's boats. That's not a thing we do.
You're not the only one who got yelled at on that frequency. So did I.
Oh. I will say this, bringing up band plans on radios, the guy that I'm teaching everything to and he's learning from me, you know, whatnot, he's been in my videos. He's like, why don't and he finally understood why, but he was like, why don't the manufacturers put the band plans in the radios? Well, for starters,
because that costs money.
But besides that, the band plans vary nation to nation.
Yes, also a good point.
Even Canada and Mexico have different band plans than we
actually,
do.
Wait,
and we're in the same region.
I don't want to lose this. This is a really important point. We're supposed to be geeks and nerds. We're supposed to actually look that stuff up and know the difference. We're not supposed to have a device that tells it to us so that we can just get on the air and like everything's easy for me. We joke about it, but that's actually what we're supposed to be focused on. We're supposed to be focused on the minutia of being on the right frequency. We're supposed to be geeks and nerds. This is a geek and nerd hobby. Like, that is it. Like, if anybody told you this is high-speed, low-drag, MCOM, BS, whatever, yes, it can be, but you gotta be a geek and a nerd first. And you gotta be willing to, like, know that minutia. That is a huge part of this. And if you don't want to do that, there's so many people who comment to me all the time on Instagram in particular. Like, I just want to get on the, like, I need emergency communications. I need that. I'm like, you want to get your license? I don't really want the government to find out and like, hey, man, that's cool. GMRS is a great place to start. Meshtastic, great place to start. Ham radio is probably not for you. And I tell people, like, don't get on ham radio. Don't get on it because you got to be a geek and a nerd to be willing to look into it. And we make mistakes. The point is, it's a mistake. We don't want a device that, like, takes that away from us. We want to be wrong. We want the device to... You don't want your car to limit your speed at 60 miles an hour, right? No. So we don't want radios that say, like, you can't actually operate there because you're not a general class license holder. No. You want to know that because you know that because you're a geek and a nerd, and you should be. That's the big difference, I think. I think we're coming down to the big
And
point.
if you don't know it, you want to make the mistake and then learn from it.
Yes.
And wait, and somebody said a lot of radios will let you program that, but then you're a geek and a nerd because you figured out how to program your damn radio.
I agree
with
you.
That's the point. That's the point. You knew it because you did it.
Iron radios have it built in on Thetis and 2 other programs, and it changes based on the region that you put in for the country that you're operating from. And it will tell you if you're out of your band. Well, it'll tell you that you're in the extra portion of the band if you have it set for our region. So,
okay,
no,
Dawn,
there are radios that do that. It's not just Don's.
Thank you for the hold on. Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Actually. Thank you for the actually. I'm sure there are radios that do it. Of course. Yeah.
Yes. Of course. But I get your point. I agree. I totally agree. We need to know it. It's not.
You got to be a nerd. I there's actually another video I'm working on that we need more nerds. We need more nerds. We need to stop fooling around with all this other BS. We just need to go back to being proper geeks and nerds about radio. We're not doing that hard enough.
And I think I want to clarify something here. When I say, like, take the test in order to be able to learn, I'm not suggesting that we should, like, abdicate responsibility for knowledge, right? Or, like, when I say, hey, radios are appliances at this point, unless you want to take them apart and modify them and hack on them. Please do. That's the point, right? But if you don't want to think about it, you don't necessarily have to. Like, the tool is there to help you.
Hey, would you let me know when you computer nerds get back to building good stuff so appliance operators like me can just have a device and turn it on and it actually works?
You are the biggest faux not nerd in the group. You pretend not to be a nerd.
That is fake news. That is fake news.
You pretend not to be a nerd, but you are a huge antenna and battery geek.
Yeah, antenna and batteries. Those are mechanical things. So, very early in my ham radio career, like when I was still a technician, and I say still a technician with the utmost respect to the technicians because you're better than most people in the world. Yeah. I had the TYT, was it the 9800, the quad band that did 6 meters or something? I'm like, hey, this does 6 meters. I want to make an antenna for it so I can use this. So I made a 6 meter dipole antenna. I borrowed an antenna analyzer from a guy on the repeater. And I made it because I can do that. I can take a thing and manipulate it, a physical object, and manipulate it to make a resonant antenna. Okay, I would think, I don't want to sound boastful, but I think I've gotten pretty good at making antennas. Like that's what I latched onto in amateur radio. Yeah. The computer side of it, though, like math, me and math are mortal enemies. My brain melts at anything above like geometry. I took Algebra 1 3 times in community college, dropped every time. I don't do math. I don't do computers. I don't do Linux. I don't do terminal. Like I'm an appliance operator that way. But I can take an antenna.
How many times are you like on a computer and it's like, hey, solve this math problem real quick? Like that's not a thing that comes up with computers.
Yeah,
but it's the just so you don't need math to do Linux.
But you need to know like the terminal commands, and I don't want to do all that stuff. I'm not that. That's my brother.
Oh, yeah,
my brother was like the '90s BBS guy. I got him in trouble one time because I was late coming home from curfew, and he was on his BBS, and he remember star 69. Well, there was star 68. That would block the call waiting. So I couldn't call home to tell my mom I was going to be late. So I ratted his ass out and I got him in trouble. So he was that guy. I'm not that guy. We are polar opposites. But when it comes to physical things, I can build things. I can make antennas resonant, that kind of stuff. But computers, Josh, you know this better than anyone. Me and computers, how many live streams have we done where let's get K and MRD on X, whatever, you know? But, they don't work for me. My mind doesn't work that way.
But a lot of your videos, your POTA activations and all that stuff, you're not really doing digital anyway. You're doing single sideband. Like you're So that's not
I'm
really
pushing the microphone button and I'm talking.
But I
can do that.
You geeked out on the antenna. You geeked out on the power supply.
Totally.
You geeked out on all those other things.
I wish that I was a YouTuber, or I wish that I had just had a camera that recorded. Hang on. When I first upgraded to General, and I built, here we go, antennas again. Because it's so fascinating to me that you could just go to Home Depot and buy some wire and turn that into a resonant antenna, a dipole. So I built a fan dipole.
And you need math
40
to do
and
that.
20. No, you don't. You need an antenna analyzer, and you don't even need that.
You do need math.
You need very basic math.
You got
300 divided by the frequency in metric, or 468 divided by the frequency in imperial. Okay, that's I said above geometry. I'm out. Algebra can go frig itself. So anyway, I made this fan dipole for 40 and 20 meters.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Yaesu FT450D. Or no, it wasn't even the D. It was the Yaesu FT450. And I made that antenna, and I got on the air, and I'm on 20 meters. and I worked my first DX contact, Slavko, Sierra 57 Delta X-ray.
I remember the story.
Remember
Yeah.
Silent Key, rest in peace, Slavko. My cat was in the room. I screamed like a little girl. My feet were stomping in excitement because I just talked to someone. I didn't even know where Slovenia was. I didn't even know Slovenia was a country. And I'm like, I just talked to somebody with 100 watts on a piece of wire that I threw up in the tree that I made and tuned myself. And that is what fascinates me about amateur radio then, and that's what fascinates me about amateur radio today. It's not the computer stuff.
But you're nerding out. Like you're nerding out about antennas. That's the point. Is that we need more nerds. We don't.
I nerd out about guitars too. That's why I'm cool, because I'm a guitarist. It's not because I'm a ham radio operator. I'm a heavy metal guitarist.
That's right.
That doesn't play guitar anymore because I got into ham radio.
That's exactly what we think about. First and foremost, heavy metal guitarist.
I have 2 Gibson Les Paul standards and a Gibson Les Paul custom in my dining room, and I haven't touched them in like a year because I'm a ham radio nerd.
As someone who has personally seen Mike play in person, like,
oh, that was so bad. That was so bad.
But still respect. Like, still respect. I wouldn't have done that. So, yes, he geeks out on guitars and all that other stuff, but he's still a nerd. He's still nerding out. That's the thing. Nerding out. Anyway, it'll be in a part of the video. I'm going to do a whole thing. But, yeah, I got some time now. That's the little thing we'll talk about next week. But
yeah, of course, Black Sabbath. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Come on, Interstellar.
Mike's guitar makes Josh drink. If I remember correctly, at that particular venue, was that That was Huntsville, right?
No, we were in Orlando. We went to downtown Orlando. That was Hamcation.
When you hopped on that open set that guy was doing?
I played You Ain't the First by Guns N' Roses.
Really? Was that Orlando?
Oof. Yep.
But I was drinking very heavily at that point, so yes.
Well, I think we all were. That's why
Mike's guitar makes Josh drink. I was drinking before he started playing.
We all were drinking. I was drinking before I started playing.
Yeah. It was good though. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. Man, where do we go from here? Okay, so let's put a cap on this. Does anybody have a question for Nick? We got maybe Heather. I don't know if she's back, but about testing.
I figured out how my mic works.
Oh, she got it. Heather, you were on the VE team with Leia, right? You were on the VE team with Leia.
I was, but I actually don't remember if I was in the room.
Oh, okay. So I think I got the answer to my question. I was trying to figure out if Leia asked what questions she got wrong, because that's a very Leia thing to do.
I am almost certain she did, and if she didn't, I would be amazed.
I can't imagine that she didn't. So yes, okay. Any other questions for Nick or Heather now that she's got it all set up? All right.
We ran far afield from testing.
Oh no, I think it was all tangentially connected. I think it was connected.
Sure.
Not really. I mean, the nerding out and geeking thing, that's kind of leans into testing depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the licenses. Maybe the thing we should say is the license allows you, is your authority to geek out, is kind of what it's really giving you. Is, hey, we get it. You're one of us. You are now certified one of us. Geek out hard. Go nuts.
I have a license to nerd.
I got a license to nerd. Maybe
he
that's
charged you $35.
Interstellar Starman says, wow, no conflict between Josh and Mike tonight. I said, well, we do room together at Hamcation.
Yeah, we're getting ready.
Can you imagine being a fly on the wall in that room? The stuff we talk about, Josh. Oh my God,
it's crazy. We should just live stream the whole thing while we sleep.
No,
would anyone on Twitter?
No.
I think you guys did live stream it one night, and it wasn't pretty.
That was the first year when I put the chair on the bed, that big armchair. That was fun.
Yeah, the internet remembers forever.
But speaking of testing, I think the testing does need to be more practical as far as what's happening with the hobby today. I mean, like when I took my general, most of it, honestly, I wouldn't use until I got my general. Why would I need to know it to get my general? I should learn that after I got my general and then apply that to the extra.
Well, can I answer that? Because I kind of wanted to suggest about what Nick was saying as well. You understand the math and the science behind it so that you don't have to catch up and learn that while you're using the things, and you can focus on the practical. The one thing Nick said that I disagree with a little bit is, for instance, why do we have Ohm's law? Because it's kind of the basis of everything. Mike's using Ohm's law whether he realizes it or not, making antennas. Whenever we're reading an antenna analyzer, whenever
I don't think.
Well, I didn't say we don't need Ohm's law. I'm just saying, like, for for basic operating, it's abstracted away. Most amateurs aren't using Ohm's law knowingly.
Like,
you're right.
Let's put
Not knowingly. Not knowingly is.
I have to completely disagree on that.
No, but let's put it into perspective. If you walk into HRO will hook you up with an entire shack, and you don't have to know Ohm's law.
Right.
But am I wrong?
Yeah, but well, okay. So that
should you? Sure, but
should we be appliance operators in every aspect just because we can be?
No,
right?
I'm not saying that.
Well, I mean, I got my entire shack as an appliance operator. I'm learning now that I got my general.
Right. So, okay, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Give me just 1 second to recollect my thoughts.
Right, but where I'm going with it is, I'm not defending it as the right position. I'm saying there are many people who walk into an HRO, Gigaparts, DX Engineering, or just pull up the website online, and they outfit an entire shack, and they walk away, and then they ship to their house, or they have everything, and they set it up. They don't even have a tuner or an analyzer, and they're just like, I'm on the air now. Because a lot of that was abstracted from them.
You're right, and none of that is bad. It's definitely not bad for HRO, but it's not bad for the hobby either. But so to some degree, I'm going to say, and maybe I'm old-fashioned with this, you're asked to do something in order to get the reward that you want to get. It's fair to do the thing you're being asked to do. And if I didn't want to learn which schematics went with which things when I was studying my extra, that's EE stuff, and I don't care. But I learned it because I was asked to. It's respect to the people that did the harder work before there could be appliance operators. You have to at least walk a short mile in their shoes.
But
that's part of it.
That's capitulating to like a non-enforcing agency, right? Like that's just.
I'll go one more.
Tradition.
I'll take if I can. So I have a question for Mike because I posted in the chat. Mike, you built a battery box. Did you use Ohm's law? Because you had a radio and you needed to know how long it was going to run for with the battery that you put in the box. So while you can walk into an HRO and you can get outfitted, as you say, which is fine. I see this in the Discord all the time. I bought X battery with this radio. Will it power it? And how long will it run for? And that's just a basic Ohm's law thing. And yeah, it's one of the first questions in the novice test is Ohm's law.
But Steve, there's websites that are just calculators that you can just type all that stuff
I agree
in.
with you.
I don't have to do the math at all. I just go to the website.
True, but you have to know. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike. I'll let you answer the question.
By the way, Steve, great to hear from you. Always a pleasure. My answer is no. I did not use Ohm's law. What I did is at the very base. It's very basic. Like I'm addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, maths. We pluralize maths. So I take a transceiver and I plug it into a battery with an inline watt meter, and I say, how much does this transceiver draw on receive? So for example, let's just say the 7300. It draws, let's just say 1 amp on receive. So if I have a transceiver that draws 1 amp on receive and I have a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, it's going to last me on receive 100 hours. Now
that's algebra.
You just did algebra,
That's
dude.
absolutely
that's
algebra. There's no getting around
Understand?
That's exactly how you would do it.
Division.
Well, that too.
Division. It's not algebra.
Yeah,
algebra is.
I don't do algebra.
You just solved for X, Mike.
Okay.
No, I
He
didn't.
solved for X.
You did.
You
did.
1 divided by 100.
I actually suck at algebra, and you did algebra.
So here's the end. Okay, we're all picking on you. We're done picking on you. The numeric part of algebra is arithmetic. The thought process of algebra is algebra. You did algebra.
I am with Mike on this one. That's not algebra.
It's not algebra.
I gotta beg to differ.
I know
on
two
that,
numbers.
Let's see.
Did I
Let's
say
solve
X?
for X.
Did I say let's solve for X?
It
No.
could be tiddlywinks, Mike. You just
two
solved
numbers.
It.
There's a 100 amp hour battery, and my transceiver draws 1 amp. So how long is it going to last?
Actually,
let's just.
How long?
I'm not solving for X.
Let me
I'm
yes
just doing
and
division.
How long it's going to last?
Hold on.
I'm just doing division.
Let me yes and Mike. Mike used an appliance, which was the voltmeter, to determine the volts that was being drawn by the radio.
The amps.
That's an appliance. The amps, yeah. The amps that were being drawn by the radio, and then he just said it's a straight conversion. It's not any harder than dividing at that point. Like he used an appliance to determine the value. That's it.
How do you know what a
Mike
volt is or
understood
an
the
amp is
concept.
if you don't? How do you know what an amp or a volt is if you don't understand Ohm's law?
I know
exactly.
How do you know what those are?
Concept.
Ohm's law is division or multiplication. That's it.
It's
not algebra.
It's a relationship.
It
It's a basic.
It's not
I'm gonna
algebra
ask-
in
can I
that
ask a
sense.
harder
Yes,
question
there is
here?
an exponent.
It's
but
physics.
He removed all the exponents out of it. Like they're just all gone, right? He used a tool, an appliance, to remove the X.
Well, you
all of
need
that.
something to measure how much current your device is using, of course.
But
Of diet.
I think I think there's a point that you're all missing here, though. Mike
more than
nerded
one.
out on the
Yeah.
antenna, right?
Yeah.
And that's and the battery, and that's fantastic, and that's great. And he's we're gonna say expert in antennas and batteries, right?
We will say that about Mike. Yes.
Right. Did you build the transceiver?
Well, who's building a transceiver?
No. We weren't
And
going
there's
there.
no expectation that you will.
I mean,
I'm
some of us
glad that I
build
set that
radios.
expectation. I want to buy a QMX and build it, but I'm so scared.
But you didn't.
Okay,
you
but
didn't,
hold on.
But
'Cause I
QMX
think-
is a kit too.
But that wasn't the point.
That
But-
was not Steve's point. Yeah, that was not Steve's point.
So specific to testing and specific to the current question pools and how they relate to did you build a transceiver, right? If you know what each of the parts in your transceiver does, or I guess we'll say the classic ones because they're all SDRs now. If you know what each of those are supposed to do on paper, i.e. the question pool that asks about those specific things, you know what knob to turn, you know what button to push on your current radio. Even as an appliance operator, you are using that information that if you want to say it's capitulation, that's fine. But it's a technical hobby. Requires some technical
But
not at all.
But where I was going with that is, at what point do you have an expectation that somebody is an expert in everything?
Oh, you don't.
Well, nobody
you
should
should
try to do
always
that.
be
Right.
skeptical
No,
of
never.
everyone. There's no way. Okay, but look, don't be a
Except
jerk.
Steve.
Don't be a jerk. No, listen. I love Steve. I love everybody. I'm still gonna treat with some level of rigor whatever someone tells me to be like, what can I demonstrate? What can I do? And I don't take that as like to disprove them. It's not coming from that place. It's coming from a place of, can I replicate what they've done? Right.
It's called peer review, and that's probably a culture you and I come from, Josh.
Yeah, and
And
so
it's also come and join you.
This isn't.
It's a sign of respect.
No, it's not even
Right?
that.
Well,
no, it's not even
hold
that.
on, though. Hold on, Josh. If you tell me something, right, and then I challenge you, that gives you the opportunity to nerd out and show me and prove it. That's respect among peers.
You've already used the wrong loaded terms in this, like challenge. I'm not challenging Steve. I'm just simply demonstrating that I can replicate his testing criteria. Because if I can replicate it, then we're only amplifying the signal of the statement that he made or the statement that somebody else made. It's not about like proving somebody wrong or when I say skeptical, I don't mean that as like I'm out there to prove someone wrong. It's I'm not just going to assume someone is right without an appropriate level of testing that matches whatever they did. Right?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's not a challenge.
I see where you're coming from.
It's just simply like I have the tools. I can do this. I should do this so that I understand how exactly they did it so that I can speak about it, but then also to replicate the fact that they did it and I saw what they did. That's the big example there.
I think that might just be like I'm going to say terminology-wise, a generation.
It is, yeah.
gap.
You said challenge, and that's more of a like, you know what I mean? Like if you're I'm not challenging anybody.
Yeah. Okay. I get how when you're learning school, math, science, engineering, whatever, you're asked to demonstrate. That is a challenge in the context that I meant it, in the context I've always used it. And it should be fun, right? Except proofs in math classes, because those can just go all to hell. But, anything else. Show me how this works. Even if you're more on paper guy, show me practically. Even if you're more on a practical guy, show me on paper. Should be able to do both, I think, in the context of like scientific peer review. Should every amateur operator need to be able to do both? No, not necessarily. But should at least be able to follow the conversation.
You're doubling down on challenge.
So here,
and I already
I think by the way, Josh, I think challenge is challenge is perfectly appropriate.
No, it's replicating.
Here's the thing with the learning. Getting back to the topic of the show today about the learning and the studying for your test. Like we learn about components. We learn that these things exist. We're learning the vocabulary. That doesn't necessarily mean that we are all of a sudden an EE, right? So like I couldn't then and I can't now build a circuit and be like, oh, well, I need this specific diode or this specific number of henries of capacitance. I watched a video last night of a guy who built a pendulum that swung next to a series of coiled
the English fellow, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I loved that was great.
Yeah, and he built a full bridge rectifier, and I'm like, that's freaking awesome. I love that video. I love watching those kinds of things. But like I don't know that I would need to put a full bridge rectifier in there and then a capacitor to hold the charge, and then as that pendulum swung, the capacitor charged more, and the LED light stayed brighter and brighter until it became constant. You know what I'm talking about, Steve?
Oh yeah. That's stuff I used to do. Yeah, but that was.
I wouldn't know
funny.
that.
That was all in the novice exam.
I would never. It's in the exam, the vocabulary. But for a guy like me, anyway, I can only speak for myself. I'm not going to learn how to do that just by taking the tests to become an amateur radio operator. This is not college. This is ham radio.
But that goes back to Steve's point of then you should have that knowledge before you ever take the test. But the test is not actually testing if you have that knowledge. That's the true. I think that the test is not actually testing if you have radio knowledge in a lot of cases.
The test is so imagine when you're 15 years old, at least in the United States, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You take your driver's ed test and you get your learner's permit.
Yeah.
Well, before you're 16, you don't know how to drive a car. You don't know how to drive a car when you're 16 either, but whatever.
I did.
You learn this is the gas pedal, and this is what it does, and this is the brake pedal, and this is what it does, and this is what happens if you crash into someone, right? But you don't know how, and especially like if back in the day when you got to learn stick, okay, or just when you didn't have to learn, but just maybe manual or automatics weren't as common.
Mm-hmm.
But until you feel that gas pedal on your foot, and until you feel
finally be done paying it off,
shut up, and until you need to put your foot on the brake pedal, you don't know. You know what they do, but you don't know how much of it you need until you get that experience from driving on the road. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think it's dumbing it down a little bit, right?
This is me we're talking about.
No,
and aren't we supposed to be talking about Linux?
We're gonna get there. I'm trying. I'm trying to get over there, but
we're not even talking about testing anymore.
Comment.
Yeah, I guess we aren't. That's true. All right, one last comment.
And I say that jokingly, not.
Said comment, and then we're gonna move on.
I did.
We're gonna move on. All right, go ahead. You got the last call on this one.
I don't disagree with either side. I'm going to put it back to the FAA and the flying thing. So you take a ground school, you learn the fundamentals, and you take a test on it. You're not a pilot. You are graduated to getting to sit with the CFI next to you to fly so that you can prepare for your practical test. Same as driving. You drive with someone who's of age. Same kind of thing.
That's also
ham radio.
No disrespect,
is not the same.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
We're not trying to achieve flying. We're trying to achieve the fundamentals of amateur radio. Exactly. So you can take the test. You're not going to know half of what's going on, but you should, as you said before, have a community around you to teach you what you need to know so that you don't go out and hurt yourself. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I hope there's a little more than that, but I can see where you're going with that. I do. Yeah, again, I think going back to where we started this conversation, I think it was a point by Steve, and then Nick added to it, and I generally agree with what they're saying. The community aspect is a big thing, right? So it's difficult for a lot of people on the HRCC Discord to be like, hey, let's get on the air and talk, or let's get on the air and demonstrate how to do this, because we're not physically with you. You can't use my license to talk if I have a radio in front of me. So you kind of have to have the license, general or something along those lines, to be able to get to the point that you can communicate with them. So in some senses, the world has moved on because clubs don't have the same impact as they used to. And that's a shame. That's not good. I'm not saying that's a good thing. But because of where we find ourselves, we have to work around that. And a lot of the ways you work around that is by, hey, go get your general, and then let's actually hop on the air and talk. Let's hop on the air and actually make radio happen and work through that. And we have the Discord to be able to help us do that, to facilitate that, right? That's kind of a replacement for the guy that was sitting next to you in the garage that had a dipole up in the air, and that's how you got to experience ham radio. That's kind of how it's going right now.
I see that happen a lot with the HFnet.
Yeah.
Right, the HRCC HFnet, right? Like, there's new people. I just got my general.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get to this net. And the HFnet Discord channel turns into, hey, here's the buttons to push on your radio in order to hear and talk to net control. Right? And it's the same, conceptually, it's the same as the people sitting next to them in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
It's different, right? Like, you have to have the license first, right? To your point.
Yeah.
But
like, it's literally I hate to say it's like a learner's permit to continue on the driver's training path that we're on, but a little bit. Like, you've got all of the privileges, but you don't really know how to use them yet.
Yeah.
I think that's a true point. So go ahead, Gray Man, and then I'm gonna pivot here. We're gonna talk about Linux.
I was gonna say, amateur radio is so much more than just talking on the radio. With your license, you're allowed to legally modify radios, make changes to them, because you're given a spectrum of privileges. It's not like CB radio or GMRS where you've got fixed channels and that is it. You have a spectrum of stuff. And so, yes, there are prerequisites that you probably should know and understand if you're going to go beyond just talking. But don't limit yourself to just talking. There is so much more in amateur radio that you can do.
Yeah. So here's the deal, right? So let's pivot. We're going to pivot to Linux now because people obviously saw the title here and we're going to talk about it. So DragonOS, I think with a couple of comments, is like one of the best Linux operating systems you can go to. I'm not going to spoil the video that's going to come out next week because I'm going to talk about physical hardware that you should get, laptops and all that stuff. I will spoil it a little bit by that is a ThinkPad. Let me just say, if you're down in this space, then you're probably in the right space. With that said, so there are a number of Linux operating systems that are ham radio adjacent, and one of the best ones I think to get started on right now, like if you just go download an image and load it, is going to be DragonOS. With that said, if you want to add 73Linux to that, this is KM4ACK. If you look for 73Linux, just search for that. Oop, there it is. We did a video with KM4ACK last year talking about his script, and you just copy the script on your Linux distro, whatever you're doing, paste that into the terminal window, and it will load a ton of applications. So I went through this. I'm going to talk about this in greater detail in the video, but regardless, we're going to talk about this right now. So let's switch over to, where is it? This guy. So here's my, wow, we're in the Matrix right now, kids. I didn't know that I could do this live. In fact, while it's doing that, I'm going to refill my dark liquid glass here. But yes, three-dimensional Matrix. Somebody asked me earlier, Josh, what are you drinking? Got a little bottle of Woodford Reserve here. We're having a little sip out of. And I will reiterate to everybody, you should go subscribe to KM4ACK. If you are at all interested in Linux, this is absolutely a fantastic channel. My buddy Jason. Love my buddy Jason in Tennessee. Okay, so I have... there we go. So we are looking at, it's a combination, confluence, if you will, of KM4's 73Linux and also DragonOS. I'm going to remove myself for a second just so we can walk through this a little bit. There's going to be more content, if you will, in the video. But when you load before we even get into 73Linux, but when you load DragonOS, it comes preloaded with so much stuff. And yes, Jason's script is on here too, but there is a ton of SDR software that is preloaded, like Cubic SDR. Going down the list here. Ham radio apps get loaded like WSJTX, JSA Call. Sat dump I added, but you can add that easily. There are a ton of all the ham radio things that you would expect. You just have it loaded immediately through doing it, whether you're doing DragonOS or you add KM4ACK 73Linux. And it's just, honestly, it's as simple as like clicking and diving in. FLDigi is loaded off the rip. Direwolf loaded off the rip. Go down to a lot of SDR software. So this is where you get a lot of the SDR stuff. And I am running, let me go back here. So let me go to this. Where is my SDR that I'm going to use here? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Took my input too quickly. I do have an SDR connected to a discone antenna on the roof. So where is my SDR? Ah, there it is. Spark SDR. Okay. So a KI6NAZ. DM03 step IR. Shoot. That's not going to work. Hold on. I just need a simple SDR.
While you're getting all that together, Josh, you're talking about Jason's 73Linux.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something about him no longer supporting that after this year or something like that? So is that going to still be a viable thing after a while?
Where did you hear that from?
He's not supporting the Raspberry Pi. He's
Okay, it's not supporting Raspberry Pi. Okay.
Oh, that's what I wanted. Cubic SDR.
Yeah.
Sorry. Cubic SDR is what I wanted.
Okay, so not supporting Raspberry Pi. I was like, I had heard it was not supporting 73Linux period anymore. I'm like, that seems odd for Jason because that's Jason's life. He loves it.
He's moved on to mini PCs as he should.
As he should. There you go. Okay, so that's
12 volts, man.
So,
but you can put Linux on that, Don.
Huh?
While this is running in the background, the thing I want to point out here is that between DragonOS, by the way, DragonOS is going to give you a lot of SDR software, like what we're doing in the background. But you also get FLDigi, which is a kind of a collection of digital modes. You get a logger if you want a ham radio logger. That is a part of the distro. But then if you add 73Linux to that, by the way, again, go watch the video we did with Jason last year. You get extra ham radio apps like, no, I think WSJTX is a part of Dragon and JSA-Call. But the one thing that I got to crack the nut on, which will be a part of the video that I put together to kind of put this all together, is WinLink. WinLink on Linux is kind of a difficult thing because they don't actually make a software package. I know it's Pat. I know Douglas. Douglas is like, oh, Pat WinLink. Pat WinLink is not as easy as WinLink on Windows. It's not. It's not. Jason tried to explain it to me, and I still don't know how to run it completely. So that's the one area where I think they need a little bit of work on. But it's a really fantastic tool, and I guess the video title is talking about Linux. So is anybody actually using Linux in the ham shack, or what are you guys doing with Linux right now? Is anybody doing it right now, or is it just me fooling around? Because I'm literally converting over stuff right now to do this like more consistently.
I
run Linux full time.
I have a Pi 4 that I have Jason's 73Linux on, and I do quite a bit on there, but it's just Raspberry.
My computer is what I'm using, and I'm using 73Linux with Mint right now.
Okay. With Mint. Oh, because Jason recommends Mint. So yeah.
I run CentOS stream here, and that's one of my. It's a everyday PC, and it's also dual boot for my my ham PC. So yeah, there are times I just boot to Linux. It's easier.
There you go. A dual boot setup. Okay.
Some of the stuff I run, I go back and forth between Windows and Linux. I've got Linux machines, I've got Windows machines doing different tasks on connected to some of my radios. I think right now I've got one machine running Linux that's connected to one of my VHF radios because it's easy to do like Direwolf and all of that, to me anyway, on Linux. So I go back and forth. And then, of course, I got that new radio with Linux built inside of it, running on the CM4 inside of it.
Yeah, same here. That's why I installed it.
Do you have the screen version or the no screen?
No, I have the no screen, but I do run HPSDR, and there's a couple of other packages that do work with that. But yeah, it's yeah. So it's, and I run it on CentOS.
Now, I will say that part of this is going to be in my video that I'm going to be making or editing. I do want to comment on something. So this is I'll just spoil a little bit about the video. This is a $200 laptop that, if you're looking over there, this is like the first Ryzen chip they put in a ThinkPad. This is a T14S that I picked up off of eBay, and it has 16 gigs of RAM. It is absolutely insane for a lot of the the ham radio apps that I play around with and run. It is a killer machine, and it's sub $300 shipped to you. It's like I said, $200, but by the time you get all done with taxes and shipping and all that stuff, $300 to your door is the same price that you would pay for what I would argue is a crap top on Amazon, or you go to the Best Buy. I'm going to talk about that in the video. Go to Best Buy and buy a cheap laptop. You'd be better off getting a T1400 or a T14S off of eBay in like every situation. And there are so many good laptops that exist. This thing showed up at my door for under $300, 16 gigs of RAM with a decent processor, and it had no OS. It said on the listing, no OS, provide your own OS. And I went, no problem. Linux is the OS. I threw Linux on it, booted it right up, and this thing is absolutely killer. It's running this rock solid. You can see down there, like it's great. It's yeah. Unwalled Garden, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
The T14S, the slim model.
Yeah.
So there were probably about 8 or 9 different SKUs during its lifetime.
Yeah.
Many of them have 8 gigs of RAM soldered to the board and a single slot to add more. Yes. There's also a T14 that are usually 1-for-1 specs, except does not have the soldered RAM limitation.
So that is a very good point about ThinkPads that we'll talk about in the video. ThinkPads are kind of an interesting space, particularly if you go to like the T480s and stuff like that. They are the ultimate like hobbyist laptop. They are ultimately configurable, and there's so many upgrades you can do to them. There's people that are still like I have a T430. No, it's a T430. It's still it's running this distro right now, and I'm gonna benchmark all of them, and I got all the details and all that stuff. It's crazy how like you can still rock some of these old ThinkPads, and they're really still pretty good.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
Hey, this is Snowcones. Hey, I used to work on these kinds of things, and there's an Idea Pad also. That's kind of they're both made by Lenovo.
Yeah.
And
I picked one of
the Idea Pad is a different factory, and the Idea Pads aren't as good. So you want a ThinkPad. Yeah, you want a ThinkPad, not an Idea Pad.
Yeah, I have an Idea Pad. That's what actually kicked off this whole thing. Was like, can I go to a Best Buy? We'll talk about it on the video. Can I go to a Best Buy and just buy a cheap laptop? And that's what started this whole thing. Boy, howdy, no. You should go on eBay right now and get a T14 or a T14S right now. way better laptop.
Josh, I've got 2 ThinkPads that I run Linux on for ham radio. I've got an old X220.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I've got an X1 Carbon.
My son is rocking an X1 Carbon right now. That's his it's my hand-me-down laptop to him that he's like, this laptop's great.
Yeah, but I use like GNU radio, GR satellites for decoding satellite telemetry packets, gpredict. I mean, there's a ton of great software, ham radio software for Linux that runs like a dream, even on those old X220s. That's a 2012, 2011 laptop.
Yeah. Yep.
That's older than the Evolve.
So the one that I wanted to, where is it? SatDump. So SatDump is a fantastic app. Are you using SatDump at all, Digital Rancher?
Yes.
I installed it, and I'm trying to find it right now.
Too bad there isn't a nifty search feature down there at the very bottom that you could use.
Can I just do that? I should just do that. I'm using my crappy. Oh, there it is. I'm using my crappy little USB keyboard to do this. But remember when we talked about SatDump in the live stream? We did one, I don't know, last year or so. So I've got to look at the screen while I do this because I'm at the top of it. But so we want to go to viewer. Nope, recorder. That's it. Okay. So with SatDump, if we go to device, let's go ahead and minimize that for a second. And we go to tracking, object information. Oh, I think I already set up some of this stuff. Satellites. Click that guy. Come on. Shoot. What are we tracking?
Go for the ISS. That's the easiest thing.
Oh, that's it. Okay. So ISS. I don't know that we have a pass going. When's the next one coming up?
How many thousands of those things are in there that have nothing to do with amateur radio?
Thousands of apps?
There's a lot of weather.
No, in your list of satellites.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to pare that down.
So the one thing that this app it doesn't have the frequencies loaded, so you generally have to go to the web and be like, okay, where are we going with this? So the one that I was looking into is the GOES satellite and setting up some of that for like image downlink capability. But let's just look up ISS frequencies. So let's just do. We might be better. Well, no, I guess we wouldn't be better off doing it that way. So let's do voice. North Asia. We don't want that. Wait. FM voice, Europe, Middle East, Africa, North and South America. There you go. So that's the uplink and downlink we want. Oh, come on now. So go back over this guy. Nope, that guy. And we're simply downlinking with this. So we're going to go to Come on. Oh my God. Why? $145, $800. So yeah. Let's check. We drag this off here.
It's one of the things I don't like about some of these programs. You should just be able to type with a keyboard right inside there. You should not have to struggle like that.
Well, you might be able to. I'm using literally. I'm using.
I've tried on some of the apps anyway, and they get all confused.
I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
The overhead desk with that is like I can't just go doot, doot, doot. Like it's a little bit. I can't even get my hand over. I'm trying. Like most of the time, it's easier to just type on this. So that's why I'm playing around with it.
Well, one thing I wanted to key in a that's good. And see what you're doing is you're replacing that awful keyboard that comes on every laptop that has that damn trackpad. I wish manufacturers would stop putting those trackpads on there. They're useless.
Well, I will say that that's actually one of the biggest features of a ThinkPad is that the keyboard is actually fantastic. That's one of the best things about it. And then you got the little nub, the little bean that you work there.
Just give me the nub and take away the trackpad.
No, I like both. If you give me both, I'm good with both. I'll take them both.
But I'd like the trackpad made the way that you've got that little keyboard where it's over to the side and not under your thumb. That is the stupidest place to put that. But anyway, sorry, that's rant, not useful.
Sure. Okay, so we're semi locked in here. I think did we get? Yeah.
By the way, do you not like OpenWebRX?
I haven't tried it.
Oh, you have. You just don't know it. It's on most of the Lime SDRs. That interface that you're going into, that's OpenWebRX.
I will take your word. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just don't know.
No, it's difficult to set up, but because I think on the Lime SDRs, you're used to going in and it's all set up for you. It is somewhat difficult to set up, but then you get all those capabilities that you've seen on the Lime SDRs.
Okay. So the one thing you have to do is go and set up like your location. So I'm kind of just demonstrating like what you would do. I don't want to go into all these because I'll I'll dox myself. But you will go in here and set up like your location. And then it'll just track. Well, that's not the word I wanted. Oh, I killed it. But yes, the concept is it's all there. The only thing, let me bring myself back in here. The only thing that the Linux is not fantastic at is WinLink. WinLink, you have to run like a VM, virtual machine, which to a lot of you listening to me are like, I'm never going to do that. There is a capability of using something called Wine, which is like an emulation of Windows under Linux, which you can use for WinLink. And then there is Pat. Pat, though, like you really have to go watch Jason's videos. That's the only area that I'm like, I feel like Linux hasn't come full circle on. And that's not a fault of Linux. It's a fault of the folks that run WinLink. Like they're not willing to let that happen yet.
Hey, Josh, I got to interrupt you for a second. I don't know about the YouTube side, but on Discord side, you have gone full robot.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
Not the microphone issue you had been having, but like somebody is hogging your internet and it's struggling to get your audio path out. Full robot.
Am I back or no?
Kind of.
Still a little there.
You're a bit starved.
You got that QoS?
Well, I do have a party going on in my house, and they're probably all on the internet right now. Oh,
yeah,
I'm 5-9 on YouTube. Okay, somebody's saying I'm 5-9 on YouTube. Roblox for the win. Yeah, that. So I don't let the kids play Roblox. That's where a bunch of PDF files are. So I am not. No, they're probably playing Minecraft. By the way, I have that whole computer, my old computer, that I have to set up for a Minecraft server, which I haven't done.
By the way, you went back to normal now,
okay.
So it's gone away for now. But just be aware.
Well, I'm not aware if you don't.
You need to set up some QoS on your router.
Okay, we're good on YouTube, so we're clear. Anyway, we'll talk about this more. Anybody have any other Linux thoughts? I don't know. I feel like we only barely grazed the surface.
I have a question.
More. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just wondering if anybody's running 73Linux on the Zorin distro. I seem to be having problems with it.
So I had on my U console, I couldn't run 73Linux. There was some problems with compatibilities, and there's some other issues, I think, with other distros. He generally supports Ubuntu and Mint, I believe, are the primary distros that 73Linux has no problems with.
Yeah, great. So that means I've got to reconfigure and do
Or
Ubuntu or Mint. Okay.
Well, before you go do that, reach out to Jason and talk to him. Like, send him a message. Say, like, hey, I'm running this crazy wild distro. What do you know about it, or are you doing anything with it? I'll be honest with you though, if it's like a super obscure distro, which the distro you mentioned I don't know about, so and I'm not a Linux guy, so he might be like, I don't know if it doesn't work. I don't know.
No, actually, it's I'm a total Linux noob too, but I probably way newbier than you are. But it's I did a little research. It seems like it. I think it's the most recent distro that they put out.
I think Jason says, that he supports it on Ubuntu and, derivatives of Ubuntu. So if you're not using a derivative of Ubuntu, he's probably going to point you in that direction. I've had real good luck with Mint using 73Linux. That's what I'm running on the X220.
By the way, DragonOS is Ubuntu based. So if you go to DragonOS, which again is super easy, this will run. I have not. I put it on 4 devices now, and 73Linux I put on 5 or 6 devices, and then I've ran DragonOS on 6 or 7 devices, and then ran 73Linux on 4 devices or so, and it's been no issue. And it's Ubuntu based, so that's probably why.
Okay, that may be the way to go, but I'm fairly certain that Zorin is Ubuntu based as well.
It is.
So in the chat, for example, if I wanted to do serious gaming on a PC under Linux, I'd probably not pick Debian for that. So whatever version Steam runs on is what you should be using. So Steam, which is the largest consortium of video games, whichever distro that runs on, that's what you should be using. So we're expecting SteamOS out there. I don't know if it's out or not, to be honest with you. I'm focused on radio, but I do like me some Arc Raiders. And is it Arch? Is it just people just in chat always like, I use Arch. Yeah, I get it. You
now
use
you're
Arch.
back.
Well, I use pure Debian, and I've
Steam
not had
runs on
any
Arch.
trouble.
Okay, Steam runs on Arch.
Yeah, Steam OS 3 is or Hollow is Arch Linux.
Yeah, so if you can run Steam on it, then yeah, arguably, if you can get good video card drivers in Linux to run whatever you're doing, and you can do Steam, oh, you'll have a great time. That'll be really good, actually.
Well, you nailed it with the video drivers part. It's not so much the Steam part; it's the NVIDIA, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to get the drivers going.
Yeah.
I have my big comment about it is it's just such a great way to reduce your e-waste footprint. The amount of stuff, the number of PCs that would pass through here and then on their way to the bin, to the curb, or at least to the recycler was pretty crazy. And then I started running Linux, and it's been a godsend. I have a Dell T5500 that started its life as a north of $1 million satellite simulator back 20 plus years ago, and rescued that from the garbage. And it's got 128 gig of RAM. It's got dual 6-core Xeons in it, running at almost 4 gig. It's got dual 10 gig drives.
Is it like a 2U blade?
It's a Dell Precision T5500.
It's a box.
They were engineering work. Yeah,
wow.
Big box.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a big box. Okay.
Oh yeah, and it runs Linux all day, all night perfectly.
I bet.
Just an awesome piece of iron, and they're dirt cheap. And as a gaming PC, they're a great alternative. But yeah, it was for years up until recently. That was, and I kept it alive for a very long time. That was one of my primary. Workstations, and it was 20 plus years old. So yeah, it definitely extended the life of things, and just trying to reduce the e-waste footprint. It's a great way to do it.
Yeah, the thing I had, I used to run a bunch of servers myself, and then I got my electric bill and I quit because I can't afford the electricity that my company can.
Yeah, the nice thing about the 5500 it is a beefy power supply, but it has sleep. It does go to sleep, and it's not any worse than
sleep.
Yeah, but it depending on what it's doing. If it's crunching something, or MATLAB, it'll run for a while. But yeah, as a daily driver, it under Linux, when I was running CentOS 8 and then RHEL and some other distros, and it runs Windows 10 LTSC perfectly fine as well. So yeah, it's a great CPU.
And an older workstation laptop, just a powerful laptop in general, is still less energy wasteful than a powerful desktop. And if you're going to get the same result out of it, it's something to consider.
Yeah, but I want at least 96 cores minimum.
Don't we all?
I would just like to point out. I would just like to point out
Sorry.
that one Mike K at MRD is saying nerd alert, but he is using the most Linux laptop available right now.
But I'm about to drop a pic here, bro.
He's just running one of the most adjacent to Unix and the whole 9 yards with the Mac OS setup that he has. By the way, I use all of them.
I 100% recognize that.
You're a nerd, dude. You're a nerd. You are. Just admit it. Just admit it. Admit it. Admit it.
I am. I'm a nerd. But I'm also really cooler than all of you guys because I play guitar.
Most.
I've always got to fall back on.
Is that all it is that you got to fall back on is play guitar?
At 11:03 at night it is, yeah.
Okay.
Mike, it sounds like you used to play guitar, Mike.
Robert. Where were you for field day? Were you scared to come down because of a little snow?
I was ice frigid.
Hey, Rob, you going to Hamcation?
Here, there it is, right in the chat. Right in the chat. Watch this.
Oh yeah, looking forward to Hamcation. Can't wait.
Look at that. Look at that.
All right, what did Mike just drop? Oh yeah, he's got that big. Wait, is that a 13? Is that a 13 or a 15? Mike? Jeez. Is that an Air?
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
No, that's a 13-inch MacBook Pro.
Oh, okay.
M1 MacBook Pro 13 point whatever.
Good for you.
That's where
I love it. Love it.
Home.
Big fan. Huge fan of the Mac OS architecture.
I need more processing power.
Somebody
now,
said.
Go ahead, nerd.
Somebody clicked on a live stream for Linux and said, "I hate Linux." What a troll! What an absolute.
All right. You know what? I actually if I may for a second.
Yeah.
So, since we're talking to a bunch of Linux nerds.
Yeah. I'm not.
Shut up. My only experience with like an actual Linux user interface, if you will, is on like some computer my brother built for my mom. Like
it's on Mac, isn't it?
Shut up, my God. Or on a Raspberry Pi. So with like what's the Raspberry Pi interface thing?
Raspbian?
Raspbian, yeah.
Mac OS.
Raspbian OS. All right. So you have the desktop there, right? And you can just go and click around things. So if I were to take your computer that you bought, that ThinkPad, not the iThinkPad, or I have an IdeaPad, is Linux such just a lightweight OS?
Yeah, it's super
that you can
lightweight.
Use.
Yeah,
it can be
stupid old tech to do. Because you're using like ham radio software in general is just like it's all kind of lightweight. There's not a lot of, it's not DaVinci Resolve Studio, it's not Final Cut Pro, it's not Pro Tools. But if you had Linux on whatever computer you were showing earlier this evening,
I'm listening.
It'd be powerful.
Yeah, so I'm not arguing that we would do our YouTube editing on this.
No. I'm asking, can it be that powerful?
So has anybody does DaVinci Resolve, is it on Linux? I'd actually be curious.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have not tried that.
Yeah.
I have not tried that. I would possibly be willing to edit a video on that and see how it goes.
It's the driver issue again, right? If you, I mean, get back to your
you can
GPU.
Go to DaVinci Resolve and download
it's all
it
about
Linux.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want performance out of it, it's all about making sure you've got a driver for your video, your GPU.
The GPU.
It's all about the GPU.
AMD, don't run NVIDIA.
Right. Now, okay, I understand the hardware. That's why I use Mac, because they're fantastic hardware. That's it. And I like the OS. But the question is, can you make and I'm an idiot. I don't know. I'm just asking a question.
You can make a monster Linux machine.
Yeah.
A Linux, because you can put the RAM. And up until like a month ago, you could buy RAM for like $1. But then it's about the cores and like what's happening in just the silicon today.
So
like
much.
Apple revolutionized. Apple just blew the cores up. And now everybody's chasing them. They're catching up. They're there. Right? The M1 processor.
AMD.
I'm sorry. Slow down. I'm getting off topic. Can we make that powerful of a computer for Linux with just off-the-shelf parts?
Easily.
Oh yeah, without question. It's just how much money do you want to throw at it?
Let's clarify.
Which is why I spent $2,300 on my Mac.
I can do it for less than that.
Hold on. I think everybody is diving around the answer of it depends. It depends. It depends on
yes or no. Can you?
You can.
You
absolutely can.
Okay. Yes.
You can. But there's a lot more thought that's going to go into that to get the right hardware that will run correctly on Linux. If you're really trying to min-max like for performance, then that's going to take a bit more time than just
I understand that's a lot of research.
Yeah.
Alternative answer.
That's not
I'll tell you about it. Can you make a Honda Accord faster than a Corvette?
Tom, you're clipping real bad. You got to come off the mic a little bit.
Yeah, it's that Aussie latency that's killing me.
Oh, it's the Aussie latency. Okay.
That's sort of like what you sounded like
I can
earlier.
change my audio
You've been
settings.
solid.
Okay.
Did they all go down under?
Come from a land down under.
This computer's.
So I think part of the question though is, so you can take hardware of literally any price range, put Linux on it, assuming Linux will run, which sometimes it's how well, sometimes yes or no at all. Like your M1 or whatever, M2, M3, whatever, that Mac will not run Linux as of now, or at least not very well. There's like a really, really early alpha, but that's the one that won't. Everything else, literally,
that's
from
because
like
it's the ARM
1990.
processor.
Yeah.
So Blackmagic recommends the RTX, like the latest is the RTX 4070.
You guys are way too nerding out on this. It's just a simple question: yes or no. The answer is yes.
It's
now. All of you guys,
Linux is better than Mac.
You got to dig into what you got to do to make it happen, and for the cost.
Mike, look at the link I dropped, Mike. It's a $10,000 off-the-shelf Linux monster. You don't have to do anything to it. All you got to do is get your credit card out, and this thing will run. I mean, it's a beast. It's 10 grand. Check out that link.
Right.
So a buddy of mine who was aligned.
That's not what he's asking.
A buddy of mine.
It's not the question.
Well, sort of it is, because yes, you can build one that big easily.
No, that is not the question.
That's
it's
not what he's
simple.
asking.
Yes or no? Can you?
And it depends.
It depends. There it is, done. Thank you.
Right.
It depends. Josh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and close this now, and I hope we.
If you go to the DaVinci Resolve website,
hang out for a second. So Mike, as someone who edits all their videos on Mac OS, right? I'm live on Windows right now. Windows is what's running the live stream. I'm talking about Linux, and I edit all my videos on Mac. I am fairly squared away on Windows and Mac. I am very confident on those operating systems. Could you make an editing studio on Linux?
The answer to your question, yes, it can.
Why are you talking over me, Michael? Hold on. Can you make an editing platform on Linux? Yes, but it's going to come down to making sure you have the right hardware that will be able to run it appropriately. Now, you brought up a good point about ARM processors. That is an area where I don't know that Linux has come full circle on to be able to capitalize on that performance. The OS X operating system is built around running those ARM processors because they've diversified the entire portfolio to that. And it is fantastic. So will you get the same performance right now against an ARM processor with your Mac OS? Probably not, than what you're used to experiencing, from my point of view.
A lot of the satellites that I looked at this week are running ARM processors running Ubuntu.
But not all ARM processors are the M1 and so on.
No.
Right. No, the Mac ones, that's a different story.
I'm not talking about porting. I'm not saying port Mike's laptop to Linux necessarily. I'm saying,
dude,
can you go out and spec the same kind of same thing on Linux that's running on Mac with the ARM right now?
100%. 100% you can. I have a number of professional editors in and around New York City that run Linux on their laptops without any problem. In fact, I'm texting with a buddy of mine right now.
Oh, I'm gonna get hot links from Steve. Okay, Steve, you gotta send me the links.
One of the
Have
big
him send me the
three.
links. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm asking him right now. So he's
I love it.
So you have friends that are running Linux on a laptop, but what are they doing on it?
They're doing nonlinear editing in the field for some of the major networks. You've probably seen their stuff.
Okay. So
No, you mean like
again,
video editing,
you
right?
guys
Video
are
editing,
you guys are really taking this question way beyond And you're
okay.
nerding
Let
out.
me answer your
The
question
answer is
directly, Mike.
yes.
I'm going to answer your question directly.
We already did like 15 times, but
No,
you guys keep like, well, yes, you can, and now you're like, well, you can do this.
Dial
and
it
you can
down.
do
I'm
this,
going to
and you
dial
can
it
do
down even closer. Can you walk into a store and buy something on Linux that will do what you're doing right now? Absolutely not. You cannot just walk into an Apple store or go on a website.
That's not my question. That's
well,
not my question.
That's the question I'm
That's
answering.
not my question.
I'm sorry.
My question is, can you make a Linux computer that is as powerful as my M1 Mac?
Well, yeah.
For editing.
Yeah, arguably.
That's
yes.
it. That's it. That's it. Stop talking. That's it. The answer is yes. Now you guys are going off and, well, you can do this and you can do
well,
this.
That's
okay,
I mean, that's to make it work.
I said I paid $2,300 for this. I showed you a picture. It sits there in the corner. I never open it. It just sits there. So you can't just do that on Linux. And make you can do it. You could do a tower, have a thing down there.
In the same.
You can build it.
Form factor.
There's fast processors out there. You can add cores. You can add RAM. Well, maybe not now because it's $8 million a pound, but 3 days ago.
In the same form factor with the same hardware.
Never mind the form factor. I didn't talk about the form factor. You're overthinking it. You're overthinking it.
Well, no, but that's
that's
what we got to do, man. We got to do that.
No, it's not.
You said
the question you got to do is answer the question yes or no. That's it. That's all I ask.
You're trying to narrow the
providing. You guys are providing more information than the question needed. That's me being a sales guy.
Narrow
you just answer the question and shut up.
Yeah.
But look at how sexy that
look.
looks.
I drew a line vertically and horizontally. And where do you want your price to be? And what do you want your monthly cost to be?
On the top. And you make it up there. Yeah.
So Josh, he's running a Legion. He's running a Legion Pro 7i.
There's a lot of Linux guys running the Legions right now.
And he runs Rocky, and he's running Rocky, and he travels a lot to a lot of places you've probably seen on the news that are not very friendly, and it's they love him there.
They love him there.
And so that is his rig of choice. That is his grab and go, and he likes it better than the MacBook that was issued to him. He built this, and it is far. He says it's far better.
It out. Oh wow.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I will say that I do have to give it to the old school Lenovo's. And I hate even saying old school Lenovo's because to me,
I'm with you wherever you're going, but I am with you on that.
An old school anything is IBM. The old school anything is IBM. These laptops, the ThinkPad, like the ThinkPad in particular, has always been upgradable. That's the biggest point about them. I will talk about that in the video too, because my 430 has been upgraded to the 9s. It won't outperform, sadly, this T14 that I bought, but we're gonna do the benchmarks on it. Yeah, I just can't say enough about these
lasted
laptops.
years.
Yeah, I can't say enough about these laptops. The ThinkPads are fantastic. Like so good, particularly for Linux. So if you want to run Linux, like everybody asks me, what is the spiritual successor to the Jankopotamus right now? And honestly, I gotta say, like, get yourself a used ThinkPad. They're really good. They're really good. Particularly the T14s are really good. If you get the AMDs, I would give a little nod to the AMDs. That's where I'm at right now. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like if you're just gonna do ham radio things, yeah, this is where you want to be. Let's get an ARM ThinkPad. I don't even know what that's going to look like, but yeah, I'm sure.
I think there is one or two, but there's not many.
And the ARMs don't usually come with GPUs that are worth a crap. That's the only problem with the ARMs, getting ARM equipment. You don't usually get like the NVIDIA type GPUs that are really powerful. I'd stick with Intel or AMD.
So
how many cores does your Ryzen 7 have?
Sounds like a guy that uses C++.
I don't even know. On this stream, this computer's insane. I'm not. I don't know. A lot.
And Rob dropped that $10,000 one. I dropped a $29,000 one that has 96 cores in it. I still want that thing.
Just remember, I beat the RAM surge of 20.
What is that one, Don?
I got all the RAM I needed for years now. I will say, shout out to Bolio, who says $2,300 worth of T14Ss will absolutely outperform $2,300 worth of Mac laptops. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that that's true. So the one thing that the Mac laptops have, I think, against some of the Lenovo stuff, again, we're talking about this used space and yeah, $2,300, whatever. I don't think that they have the same video processing capability. So when it comes to editing, I don't know that I can necessarily get like a better editing platform in a lot of cases than going with the Mac. To be honest, it's insane.
But Josh, a Beowulf cluster.
I mean, yeah, you could make all these like distributed systems to be able to.
Oh, it's got a Threadripper in it.
No, it's not. I don't know. I will say, God, please, everybody listen to me. I use every operating system. I value them in different ways, and I love them all differently. And when I tell you I edit on a Mac, it's because I've had the best experience editing on a Mac. That's it.
Because you like avocado smoothies.
Well, I like an avocado drink, like a Vietnamese avocado drink. Not an avocado smoothie, but like a Vietnamese avocado soda type of thing.
A decent rebuttal.
Yeah, because you know what I'm talking about. But like honestly,
no,
I've edited thousands of videos on Mac because I found the editing experience to be that much better. Could you possibly do some things faster with different hardware? Yeah, sure. But the experience is better, arguably, on Mac. No question. Would I go live on Mac when I'm portable because I have that laptop, but would I rather be on Windows? Yes, I would. And with all open honesty, I'm live on Windows right now because Windows is better for live streaming. No question. For ham radio stuff, I think that Linux has outpaced Mac at this point. I think that a lot of the software is fantastic. Except the SDR control software that they did for ICOM and Elecraft and Yaesu and who's the developer for that? Those are the best. Those are the best.
Marcus, right?
What's that?
Are you talking about like Yaesu and so on?
Right?
Yeah, Marcus's software is the best. Is the best operating experience, even for a Flex radio.
Yeah, I'm running it on Mac. I'm running it on a 7300, and I'm loving it. That's the only
not only
Mark II.
It is so.
Not only has that computer
better.
got 96 cores, it's got 96 gigs of VRAM. By the way,
Okay, so
it's got an RTX 6000 Pro.
What I'm saying is the user experience is better. That's the point.
Which is a $14,000 graphics card.
Does that make the user experience better?
No, it just makes the RAM higher.
What are we talking about? Are we fighting about RAM now?
Oh,
that's what we're all at.
Oh no, this computer that Don's posted. I'm just looking at the specs of it.
Oh.
Got 384 gigs of RAM, 96 cores, and it's got a $15,000 graphics card.
Yeah, you know, just what people buy for fun. It's a little funsy radio, funsy computer.
And you know what? In 5 years' time, that's a pile of junk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's why you look for servers.
Now you'll be able to run Linux on it in 5 years, and it'll still kick ass.
Oh, it'll still kick ass. That's right.
And,
no, you know what? In 5 years' time, the drivers might catch up, and you won't even be able to run Mac on.
Literally, you can buy servers that will blow that thing away. I mean, they're already 5 years old. We were buying some with 2-socket, 192 core per socket, 200 or 128 cores, 256 threads per socket with 2-socketed chips in them. So yeah, the servers just blow that thing away. And of course, you can add as many graphics cards as you want inside the servers. Just got to get a big power.
And remember, Threadripper is not a 2-socket platform; it's a single-socket platform.
Right. That's why you get the server, and it's an AMD EPYC.
That's why you go up to the EPYC. Yeah.
All right. I'm taking back over control. So we're gonna say hi to some YouTube friends, and then we're gonna get out of here. I will say, hopefully, maybe I'll get on the air tomorrow with my monoband 15-meter handheld full of batteries. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll take a little bike ride and do a POTA activation. But we'll see how it goes. That's my goal for tomorrow, is to try and get on the air with this bad boy.
List is current at this moment in time.
Thank you. I saw that, Frank. I appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Okay. So let's say hi to some of our YouTube friends. We want to go straight to Adam, Mark, Soda Plus, and maybe Brooks, who is working the relay for the folks here. Is there anybody campsite in Joshua Tree right now?
How copy? We're out here around Iron Joshua Tree.
Hey Brooks, are you there right now, man? I miss you guys. I wanted to hang out with you this weekend, but I was Pinewood Derbying. How's it going out there?
Pretty good. This is Adam here, but I'm sitting right next to Brooks, and Mark is laid out on the ground next to the campfire here. We got I think about 8 of us out here. We cooked up a bunch of ribeyes for dinner on the grill here. Got some climbing in today, and worked some good POTA with the K3 and the Moxons and the antenna farm set up at camp here. This morning we were working a bunch of European DX from camp, and then in the evening we got what do we get? We got Japan and just a bunch of stations all over the U.S. D was working quite the pile up on 40 meters and having a blast. Yeah, Mark actually went live for a bit and did a little stream before yours started this evening.
Yeah, I caught you guys on the air, but I had mic problems, and then you switched over to D doing CW, and I had to get going with the live stream, so I missed all that, and I'm bummed out. So are you gonna be active at all tomorrow, or are you gonna be packing up and getting out of there?
We got to be out of here, I think, by noon tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll do a little operating in the morning before we break the antennas down. So.
Okay.
So yeah, that's we'll be on there. Keep an eye out for spots for Joshua Tree, US 0041, and if you see somebody working POTA there, it's probably one of us.
So it's a POTA only, right? Are you on a SOTA, or is it just POTA?
Just POTA for us. We haven't done any SOTA. We've been keeping it a pretty chill trip and just sticking around the camp area here in general.
Right on, right on. Okay, very good. Well, there you go, everybody. Keep an eye out for a multitude of call signs. Who's all out there? It's K6ARK, and you got D and Mark, and who else? Who's all out there?
Yeah, so we got Brooks, WB6EDK. Brooks, yeah. That's the Discord account we're using here to check in. We got Nathan. Sorry, Nathan, I don't remember your call. KO6KNR. He's a
this
new
isn't a test.
M.
I'm so sorry. This is not a test. I'm sorry.
I thinking about it now, that makes me think we got to put Nathan on some 10 meters tomorrow and
there you go.
Have him at the HF. And then we've got Andres here. KO6 FNE is his call. He's the one that joined us for the 160 meter activation trip up. I saw that video. And then Dennis, KA6DUH, one of my mountain rescue buddies from San Diego. Yeah, that's most of the crew out here. So we had Chris K2MMT with us as well. He lives out in the area here and is an active soda activator as well.
Right on. All right. Well, have a great time and get all the contacts you can. Appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for giving us the shout out, and we'll get you out here next time. Get a little climbing in and some POTA.
It was
bummed you couldn't make it, but I certainly understand the family obligations, and I hope the Pinewood Derby went well for you guys.
I think Edison's car is second place in the entire den. No, it's pack. It's pack. I don't want to go in a whole complaint situation, but I've got so many complaints about Pinewood Derby. Anyway, next year he has one more year, one more car, and then I'm done. But we were second, and I'm a little bit salty about it, but I'll leave that on the side for right now. So thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening.
Hey, Josh, but for Adam. Hey, Adam. I saw you on CW today while I was out at the POTA. I know you love CW. I didn't see any of the other guys out there spotted today. Get some SSB in, will you?
They did tonight on 40 meters.
Yeah, we
during the day.
Yeah, not a ton, but we did a little bit during the stream this evening. We ran some 20 and some 40 meters. So.
I was out there hours ago, Adam, long before the stream.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just not as fun. I'm sorry.
I get it. I'm learning CW just for you, Adam.
There you go.
I appreciate that. Well, thanks, Josh, for the shout out here. Appreciate you calling us up in the stream to say hello from out here in Josh Retreat.
No, thank you guys. Have a great evening. Have a great time camping. Appreciate you. Wish I was there, but 73 guys.
73. Thanks for we'll get you out here next time.
All right, I will give you the quick Pinewood Derby drama, and then we're gonna move on to the next YouTube channel. So last year, I made the like Icarus flying to the sun car. It was the balance point was aggressively a third of an inch, maybe a little bit closer to an inch from the rear axle, like very high weight on the back. And it was the fastest car. It had multiple new track records. Every lane it was rolling in. It was fast. And it got on one lane and it flew off the track. And the guy who was running the Pinewood Derby said, we're not going to rerun the heat. Like, you're just DQ'd. And so because we flew off the track, our average was murdered. Like, you're done. You lost. You go all the way to the bottom. So this year, a couple of cars flew off the track and they reran the heats. And I asked the guy running it, which is a different person, I said, are you rerunning cars that ran off the track? Like, you rerun the whole heat? And he's like, yeah, because they fell off the track. We want to get a good time for them. Just because they fell off the track, we should rerun them. And so I was like, what? He's like, last year we didn't do that. He's like, well, I don't do the same thing as the other guy. And I went, all right, fair play. But I mildly tuned Edison's car to not be so hot shit going down the track. Had I known that, I would have completely balanced the car differently. It would have been totally different. And so now I know that this guy, the guy that's leading it, is okay with rerunning cars. Well, Edison and I, because he and I did it this year, we balanced the car, and I tuned it mildly. And when I say mildly, I moved the center of gravity more between the axles instead of over the rear axles. And the more you bring the center of gravity over the rear axles, it reduces the stability of the car, and that's what causes it to flip out. So, but if this guy's like, oh no, yeah, we will definitely rerun cars that flip off the track. Oh, dude, we're wrecking it next year. Next year is Edison's last year, so I'm taking all the names next year.
Is it Edison's year, or is it your last year, Josh?
It is Edison's last year. It is Edison's last year.
Mm-hmm. You keep telling yourself.
So the key here is you got to have documented requirements, otherwise, things are going to happen.
Right? Yes, Adam, you are totally right. That is my problem. Is you can't. I tuned it mildly because I wanted to stay on the track because I didn't want to DQ. And the guy who had the fastest car, his car flipped off the track because he tuned it to bring the center of balance way back, and that's why he won. And the guy's like, "Oh no, yeah, we'll just rerun it. We'll just rerun the whole heat." And I was like, "Wait a second,
hang on. If you
last
flip
year,
off the track,
you're done.
If you're in NASCAR, you flip off the track. You ain't finishing. There's no redux.
That's what I'm saying."
Okay,
so I don't care. I don't care how you do it. If you want to go hard on the full DQ on the flip off the track, I'm with you. You just got to tell me. And if you're gonna rerun them, that's fine. You just got to tell me, and I'll work around it. I can tune them mild. I can tune them hot. I don't care. I will walk my kid through how to do all this, and we did. We tuned it. We were second place in the entire den. And I would have brought that center of gravity just a little bit in. And I would have wrecked them. We would have wrecked them. Damn,
dude! If I'd have cut that 6 meter dipole just a little bit longer when I made it,
wrecked them. Damn near killed them. That's what I would say.
Exactly. It's the way she goes, man. It's the way she goes.
That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes. You can't be mad at second place. Can't be mad. So there you go. All right, moving on. Next. Bill, Ham Radio Tectonics. How's it going, man?
Can you hear me now, man?
Yeah, dude. How's it going?
How are you, Josh?
Hey, aside from this Pinewood Derby drama, I'm doing great.
I know you're gonna be all right. Well,
I'll make it through it, buddy. I'll make it through.
I'm gonna keep it short. Thanks for the shout out. This is Bill Bravo India Lima K0WHW. Ham Radio Tectonics. Snowed in the south. I got to get up in the morning and try to make it to work. But there's like 6 to 8 inches on the ground and like 10 to 12 snow drifted. It's crazy.
How much snow you got?
There's 6 to 8 inches on the ground, and it's blowing. So some of the drifts are just through the roof, as far as I'm concerned.
Man,
like,
Bill, are you in eastern North Carolina right now?
I am 30 miles north of Charlotte, and we're snowed in.
Okay,
Damn.
so you're
Yeah,
west
it's
North
rough.
Carolina.
Damn. Well, are you doing much radio out there right now, Bill, or what are you doing?
Yeah, the first thing I did was get up and make sure the truck started and the antennas are still up. So I played a little radio today and did some other projects, and it snowed all day. It snowed all day. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of the way, and it was good to hang out with you guys. I swear, listening to you guys, I get a little bit smarter every time.
Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you hanging out. And we're going to see you at Hamcation?
You may see a guy that looks just like me at Hamcation.
All right. All right. Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for you. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
73.
All right. Next is Chris, Radio and Life. How's it going, man?
It's going, Josh. Just dealing with some personal issues right now, and switched my main computer over to Mint and then loaded 73Linux on it. So I'm learning how to get the DigiRig and everything hooked up to the 706. Trust me, it's been a fun battle.
You got to query those USB ports, man. You got to query those USB ports.
Exactly, and maybe tell them to dial out too. So it's one of those fun things. But other than that, I'm trying to produce some. With switching over, I got to get on to get my editing software up and running so I can get some videos out. But other than that, just trying to get used to this Linux mostly, so I'm good to go. But Mint is great. I love it.
It is good.
So I'm actually going to be switching another computer over. I got a Surface that I'll use for all my Windows requirements, so to speak. But other than that, I'll switch over another laptop to something that I can take on the road, because I'm looking for a mini PC to hook up here at home for streaming and stuff like that. But I'll be putting Linux on that too. I'm not even going to screw around with Windows anymore. It's becoming an ad center more than anything else.
Well, I mean, one of the good ways to look at it is with Windows, you're paying like $100 for the operating system, and Linux is just free. You can just load it on anything, and it just works. It got like no problems. So, yeah.
Exactly. And the nice thing is like Steve Temporary Offline does really good videos on how to take off Windows off your PC and put it on Linux. You know, there's different people out there that are doing this, and it works really well, really well.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. All right. Next is Rob, Digital Rancher. How's it going on, man?
Oh, it's going. Trying to thaw out. We're frozen here in Texas again, so working through that. But otherwise, just having a lot of fun with with this experimenter's device that I've got. This thing called a Crow panel. It's from a company called Elecro. It's an ESP32 based device. It's got a touch screen on it. It's got all kinds of I/O. It's got a couple UART ports, an I2C port. So there's lots of opportunity to interface this thing with radio. So most recently, I learned how to interface a GPS with this, and I'm hoping to create a little satellite helper device that folks can use whenever they are trying to manually operate satellites. So that's what I've been playing with lately. Been playing with that on the live stream. So the Friday night late shift at 9 p.m. Texas time. So if you guys are looking for something to do on a Friday night, stop on over. And we start at 9 o'clock, and last night we finished up at about 1:30. So it's always a good time.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for joining us out there and sharing your knowledge, because we dipped into Linux a little bit. Appreciate you. And yeah, go check them out. So next is Don, N5SKT. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty well. Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I switched mics. This time I'm on what I hope is a much better mic.
There's like some sizzling, crinkling kind of.
Oh, that's me playing with a piece of Velcro.
Oh yeah. I can hear that. So you got a roomy mic. It's very roomy.
Yeah, I've put out a couple of videos recently. One opening up the G2 that I bought over Christmas, and then I found an amplifier that I wanted to play with, and I bought that. It's one of those RMLE 300-watt jobs that you can connect to a Hermes light. I'm getting about 160 watts out of that. And so I did a brief video in that. So I'm trying to do some videos, things like that, trying to make my shack look better so that it doesn't I think the car guys kind of got on to me because I posted one of the videos, and they were doing a shack suggestions or something. So I was the negative suggestion, which was kind of fun. But I do need to clean it up. So I'm doing some stuff like that, and running some 160 meter FT8 right now. And that software that you're talking about, the SDR control software, I've got that connected to a 7300 off my Mac, and I think I run it every night because I can sit over here in the house and connect to that Mac through Chrome desktop and just sit around and run 160 meters until people disappear. So
yeah, didn't you send me a DM about your noise floor at 160?
Yep.
It was like aggressively low, like
yes,
to the point that I'm like, man, that doesn't feel right.
Well,
feel right.
Right now, I feel like it's crazy that I can hear New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, that's a little crazy.
And by the way, I work. Are you familiar with the the expedition for VP2 MAA?
No.
That's out of some like little strip island out near the Caribbean or somewhere in the Caribbean.
Okay.
And they're activating it for a month or two. Anyway, a crazy thing to me is I worked them on 160 meters. I haven't worked them on any other band, but I was able to work them on 160 meters. And like some years back, it was back about almost a year ago, I worked TI2 RRC when basically out of Costa Rica on 160 meters. So yeah, to me, again, with the land and all of that stuff, the 80 and 160 is something that I just could not do in my old place. And so I'm just having a blast with it. So
right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you hanging out. And
sure.
Your thoughts?
And I appreciate it. And I'll be honest with you, I've got to hang now. So I appreciate it. 73 guys.
Take it easy. So I think, let me go back for a second. Digital Rancher just dropped something. He said, hey gang, I'm 2 subs away from 5,000. 2 subs. I'm going to go ahead and drop. The fact
I just did.
Let me just say. The fact that Digital Rancher only has 5,000 subs, I feel as an insult. I'm personally insulted by that. We got to bump up those numbers. This man is a treasure to ham radio. Honestly, go look at the videos and what he's putting out. Particularly getting you on the air for satellites. Like, go show him some respect and please give him a sub. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves that. That's amazing. Come on. 5,000 subs? We got to bump that way up. Way up. I know all you've been the old heads on the Digital Rancher. I know it. But we got to bump that way up. 5,000
I would go
subs?
so far as Digital Rancher showed up on Josh's stream.
Yeah.
It wasn't the other way around. Because like Josh is like, yeah, he's here, whatever. But
I was never like that. That's not how I was.
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying.
Whatever.
Is so cool that he showed up on your stream. It's not like, oh, Josh showed up on Digital Rancher's stream. Like, Digital Rancher is where it's at. If you don't sub to Digital Rancher, you are not a real ham. My name's KMRD.
That's right.
That's my call sign. My name is Mike. I'm a VE and I'm a no-code extra. Subscribe to Digital Rancher.
I agree.
And it looks like he's over 5,000
now. Okay, good. Cheers to everybody. That's a crime. We got to get him bumped way up. Get him up. Get everybody watching right now. Please throw a sub. You love satellites. You love to be able to track them. You want to know how to do it right? It's Digital Rancher. That's the right way to do it. There you go. All right. I don't know what Mike's saying, but he's definitely saying some things. All right, next, I think we got. I think. I think El Marie. I don't know that you're new. I definitely know who you are. She's on frequency, but have you been on the Discord before? I don't know that you have. Is she there?
She was.
She was? I think she still... is?
No, she's there. Okay, L, because you were playing with JTDX,
Yep.
close that. There you go. Hi.
Oh, she's back. All right.
I had my like better mic to use, but then it was like the push to talk requirement that I think I needed to do.
So, Al, have you been on the live stream before? Have you been on the Discord? I think you might have been, right? Or am I wrong?
I've been on once before.
Okay. So you have had an interesting situation in ham radio. How's it been going on as a YouTube creator? And I'll just lay it out there, as a female YouTube creator on YouTube. How's that been for you?
No, yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very valid question. I mean, look at this chat right now and the chat that we're in. It's all, of the male generation, which is totally fine. I love my male counterparts. I think there's lots of knowledge to accept and to share. But as a female, I would say I do hope to bring a different perspective, a creative perspective, a nurturing perspective, and just like as a female, it is a little bit challenging, but to not be afraid to jump into it, to be in these spaces and to enjoy them just the same.
I love that. I think I don't want to say like there's a courage behind you or anything like that, but there's obviously an interest that is leading more than all these dudes are all around me. You're just like, I don't care. I'm just going to enjoy the radio. And I love that. I want more ladies to be able to get on the air and be active and all that stuff. And you're an example of that. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being on the show. What do you got going on? What are you planning in the future so people are keeping an eye out on the channel?
Absolutely. I'm right now wanting to explore more of FT8. I'm kind of downloading the software in the background here. I hope to do a video on that, just kind of like a walkthrough. I know it's probably been done multiple times before, but again, just offering a different perspective, maybe a female voice for other female hams can, come to me and look at what maybe I put out there for them. But I hope to do some FT8. Earlier this evening, the North America single sideband contest was happening, and I had just purchased, I want to say like 5 hours ago, a 20-meter specific mobile antenna. So I grabbed that antenna, hooked it up on my Forerunner, and participated a little bit in the North America single sideband contest. It was a sprint contest, and learned a lot about contesting. It's something that I look forward to as I mature into voice, because I think I'm really lacking in my experience right now. And so I think contesting will help me learn more, help me gain a better cadence as I participate more over the phone.
So are you fully Forerunner based at this point? Like, is your ham shack the Forerunner? Because I mean we watched the videos of you in the Forerunner. So are you building out the Forerunner as like the complete ham radio shack kind of thing? Are you also bringing radios into your home, like, kind of situation?
Yeah, so my big base station right now is the Forerunner. That's
Okay.
just, where my
Nice.
power is right now.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have a great external power supply working with, and I am. But let me answer your other question now. Am I looking to build out? Yes, I'm actually looking to purchase the 7300 Mark II here in a little bit, and hopefully to build up from that.
Very good. All right, cool. Very good. Well, yeah, I dropped the link for you, and so everybody support L. And I'm saying L Marie is okay, right? That's the right way to.
Yes, either works for me.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks for hanging out, and if anything comes up, feel free to dive in, and we appreciate your feedback. So thank you.
I appreciate you hosting this, Josh. Not other hams do this, like you showcase everyone, and that's a gem and an appreciation in itself. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Next is Frank. How's it going, man? What's going on? You're obviously not on the train right now. So what are you doing in ham radio?
I got to do a POTA for the first time since the middle of October, so that was fun.
I was oddly enough, every time you were activating, or not all the time, but a lot of the times, I just happened to be on the radio, and I found you on the air. I caught
yeah.
you randomly.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
So the one time that sticks out to me is when you were actually testing a radio, and I was at the California State Railroad Museum and Old Sacramento State Park.
Yep.
That one, I put that into a video at one for that video. But this has been the first pod I've had since, as I said, October, and the noise that was at this park went from like an S3, S4 up to an S7.
Oh no!
At this
An S7,
location.
you can still operate on that.
I couldn't. I barely heard people into Utah, and I couldn't even hear snow cones. And snow cone setup. He was having fun.
Signal. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't even hear snow cones. But I have a fun question for you. Those listening to ham radio randomness, I have that as a new live stream thing, and I just let it run. I'll set it up remotely, and it's the 9700 scanning 18 2-meter frequencies, and my All-Star node connected. I let it run for 12 hours, or just shy of, overnight. I am getting more views per live stream on that than I am anything else. Now, I know some people are daytime when we're at nighttime and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But why, Josh? Why? What is it about just listening to the radio?
Can you break it down for me? So you have a 9700 scanning what frequencies?
Just a whole bunch of 2-meter ham frequencies that I can
repeaters? Like repeaters?
Yeah, repeaters. Yeah. So I have VHF simplex, the D-Star simplex calling channels, single sideband 144-200, and then the other 15 or so frequencies are the 15 or so repeaters that I can hear from the home QTH. And then I have the All-Star node, which is connected to Jason's hub.
So posturing a guess, it's like voyeurism. It's the same charge that human beings get out of watching like reality television, right? Like I think that's kind of the same idea. If you create a situation where people can just listen to the reality of people talking on the radio, there will be people that will listen to it. Like that is a real thing. And it's just the human interactions that are happening. And that's like that's it. Like that's it.
So here's the thing about it.
Yeah.
It's overnight. So like I could go and I could start a live stream half hour after you finish and run it for 12 hours, and I'll get more views off of that one live stream than say my Fridays with Frank, or even my New Year's Eve live stream. I've gotten more views, in a 28-day period.
Should I start doing this, Frank? Is that what you're telling me? Is that I should start doing this?
Yeah, I mean, you have much better setup compared to me, but I'm like, why? What is driving people to watch these? You can see it right there. One of them has 319 views. One of them has 627 views. The 5-hour live stream was whatever. I wanted to do a daytime thing just to see. So daytime, not a lot of people watched, but nighttime, everybody. I don't see a lot of like peak and averaging. I get maybe like 5 or 6 viewers overnight, but the views afterwards just skyrocket.
There's probably some percentage of people that just want to hear real people talking about stuff. Like our entire lives, most of us, as we look at media and content, we pull our phones up, and some of it like is curated to speak to us. Like it's not real human interaction. It's ads and TikToks that is the algorithm, or Instagram stories or Facebook or whatever. Like that's all an algorithm. Even the YouTube videos, like when I show up in your YouTube feed, it's because you've watched me before, and hopefully you like my stuff. But that's all so many little algorithms that are like, oh yeah, give him more of this. He wants more of this. Give him more. but then they find your video and then they get like hit with a dose of the real, because it's like real people just talking on the radio, which, by the way, this literally harkens back to my kid is watching people play video games, live stream, like a live stream of somebody playing a video game, and he's watching people play video games live. And I've done this. I've watched people play League of Legends and a bunch of other video games, and now he's doing it, and it's like it's the same concept. It's just the authenticity of people doing something, like real, actual human stuff, not AI crap or whatever. Like that, I think that's got to be what it is. I don't know.
I don't know either, and I thought I'd throw it by you.
Don't
because
stop. Keep doing it. Now you just got to increase the scanner capability. You are the best person for this. Like, this is exactly in your wheelhouse.
So I already have a 12-element Yagi pointed at most of the repeaters that I can hit at 25 feet. So it's either get the antenna up higher and see what happens, which is a very long and hard task. But yeah, and I'm going to add an HF to this once I get the Studio Shack put together. Oh, that's another thing. I ripped the whole Studio Shack apart. I put stuff back together just to make things work for streaming and whatnot. And by the way, like you, I stream on Windows because I tried it on Mac. It was an epic failure. But yeah, I'm like, what are people liking about, and this is rhetorical at this point because we've covered it, but for the most part, that 11 hours and 55 minutes of live stream, except for that commute window at like 5 to 8 in the morning, it's dead air and just the repeaters IDing for the most part.
Oh, so it's just straight live to live audio.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, there's very little activity, yes, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, but I'm at the far north.
And you're not scanning? The radio's not scanning or anything like that? It's just that's it?
It scans through, and every 10 minutes when the repeaters ID, that's about the only traffic you'll hear until the commute time, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning onward for a couple hours, and then it all disappears.
Oh.
Like there's like nothing going on. Now I could put it onto the one repeater that we don't talk about that is like the Renegade box in SoCal. I could put it on there and just stream that, but I'd get a content strike or possibly kicked off of YouTube with the language that's used on there. So I'm not doing that. But with that being said, I also have Fridays with Frank. Yeah. And that's every Friday. It's just basically sort of like your after chat, except it's me hanging out, answering questions. It's a Q&A AMA. You guys ask me the questions, I answer them if I can. If I can't, I say, I can't answer that. Or, hey, let's go to Google and find that out. Or, something like that. Last night, I had a shorter stream because I wasn't feeling well. And we found out that Signal Stick doesn't make a tri-band antenna. Somebody asked about the Kenwood THT75. The one that's coming out. Oh no, Mike. Yes,
Mike.
Yes,
repeatedly, you said that the Signal Stick antennas were made with piano wire. That is 100% not true.
That is not
piano wire is made from extruded steel. Signal Stick antennas are made from nitinol, I believe it's pronounced.
That's correct.
Titanium.
Okay. So, see? No,
different composition of wire. Yeah.
Nitinol.
I thought I said something like it had the same elasticity or something like that as piano wire. I wasn't 100% on my game last night.
It doesn't. That's why it droops in. Well, some of it droops in the cold.
Yeah. So Fridays with Frank, we have fun, we hang out. I do have my Discord, open and the voice chat up and running. So anybody wants to come in and just ask a question live, like here, I'll answer it. I'll go to Google machine or, whatever. I've also introduced things to, right? I've also introduced, thanks to Mark over at Boondock Echo, who could not be here tonight, segments at the beginning of my Fridays with Franks, and it's alternating between railroad topics and ham radio topics. So if you want to learn something about railroads that you might not know or you don't have a clear understanding of, I have everything set up. I've planned it all out. I have alternating railroad and ham radio topics. Last night was a railroad night.
Can I ask you what is the crossover? Because I know there's a Venn diagram of rail fanning and ham radio. Like, have you found what that crossover looks like? Because I feel like that is the niche that you are the most authoritative in the space. Like, what does that look like?
I really haven't found it like I know what it is, but what it is rail fans, or as your sister calls them, foamers,
yeah, she does.
they like to listen to the railroad radio. Well, that gets them interested into Baofangs and other radios like that, maybe Motorola's, to listen to the railroad communications. These days it's Kenwood and ICOM because some are NXDN in very remote areas. Barstow has an NXDN channel.
Yeah.
And then eventually that goes into, oh, well, what else can I do with this radio? And that brings them into the ham radio side of things. At the end of the day, it all boils down to which part of the TISM do you have?
Okay. But I guess, so are you into miniatures at all? Because I feel like there's a huge portion of rail fanning that is miniatures based. And even if you're like, oh, I actually run this engine, they're like, I don't really care about you. I just really care about the tiny version of what you do. Like, is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the thing too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Model railroading. There are a ton of model railroaders out there. I have a HO scale and Lionel O scale. You remember the old triple track Lionel scale stuff from the days of.
We were only LGB in this house. Let me just tell you about model rail.
Oh,
the big boys,
you had the big
biggins, the biggins.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up with.
Yeah. Now, Silent has a good point here. Most of the railfan types would get ham radio licenses to smooth things over with the driving with a handheld scanner or a scanner period in the car. For those that don't know, some states say you can't have a scanner in the car unless you are a ham radio operator. And it's legal. So a lot of them do it that way too for those states.
So here's a weird crossover. Because, man, I don't know if you can do this. Can you actually make a video of you using railroad radio when you're at work? Can you do that?
Not at work. No, we cannot have personal electronic devices on at work.
No. I mean, like using. I see. You can't have a recording thing to do a video while you were actually doing your job, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, okay. No, can't. That's thanks to Chatsworth back in 2007.
And you've done the whole like deep dive explaining exactly the best practices of helping people rail fan.
I have not done a deep dive on that on my channel yet, but that is a good idea.
Crazy for not doing that. That is the most that is the most important thing you should be doing right now. That's crazy to me.
So I brought in the railroad segment, and then I was like, well, what do people think? Should I do all railroad or maybe half railroad, half ham segments? And the vote was unanimous. Do every other week a mix of 1 week railroad, next week ham. So I'm going to bring more. I'm going to bring more deep dive on the railroad end of things.
Okay. If I may, let me dive in a little bit here. You are exquisitely experienced in how radios function on the railroad. So That's the video you should be making to explain to people how best to listen to those frequencies. And then you have an unimpeachable credibility in this space. Like you have the most credibility. You can be like, I do this for my life. This is how you do this thing. No one can challenge that. You have a position of high standing that you should start. You should absolutely do this. Whatever video series you need to make on this, you need to do this right now. Like start tomorrow. Start tomorrow, right now. There you go. We already got people in the chat that are like, I'd watch that. That's it. There it is. There it is.
Well, that's Miss Anime who's been back in chat after a long time of deep diving rabbit holes, and she's finally back in chats, and it's great to see her there. So okay,
you know what I'm saying, right? Unimpeachable. Oh, yeah. Unimpeachable. You have the skill and knowledge in this area.
Oh yeah, I definitely, yeah, I can. of course you'd watch it, Mike. So okay, well that's something else I could do, but I'm not going to be able to start tomorrow, unfortunately, because
shut your mouth and start tomorrow.
No, here's the thing. Okay. As soon as we're done here with tonight, like as soon as you end your live stream, I go to bed until like 3 o'clock tomorrow our time, and then I go straight to work because I work nights.
That? How does one actually sleep until afternoon? Like, I don't know what that looks like. I don't even know how to do that.
Keyword: sleeping medication.
Oh,
I have to take sleeping aids to make it happen.
Okay.
But I'm a night walker, so what I do is when I get home on Thursdays is I wake up Wednesday afternoon, I go to work, I then come home, and I stay up until Thursday night after the NorCal swap on my channel, and then I just KO. And I sleep Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then I sleep all the way through Sunday afternoon and go back to my night walker status for 4 nights.
You sir, have a zombie level of circadian rhythm going on right now.
Oh,
I don't even know what that looks like. That's crazy.
Railroaders live off of sarcasm, insults, and energy drinks.
What is your favorite energy drink right now? Like, if you had to pick one energy drink that would be your favorite, what is it?
Oh, I'm Red Bull through and through, and not any of the flavors.
Like just a Red Bull, Blue Label, regular Red Bull. Okay,
just good old fashioned Red Bull.
I was kind of thinking like the rail guys might be like Monster White Label. I don't know why. Like going to like
some are
right. Okay. All right, right on. But hey, I'm down with the full level Red Bull. I like that.
Oh yeah, and I do the big 24-ounce cans.
Oh yeah.
I like 3 of those per shift just to keep things going. All right, so because I know the list,
vodka in there personally, that's my thing. It's just a little bit of vodka. Yeah.
You know, the feds don't like it when you do that. They don't like it when you got the white powdery stuff or the vodka or.
I don't know anything about that, but
yeah. So
I don't know why you made it weird. I don't know why you had to make it weird, Frank. What we're talking about. I don't know why you had to make it weird.
Fun fact with that used to be a thing on the railroads. Your engineer and your conductor on your old school Union Pacific, Southern Pacific, wherever you're at, those crew members were loaded 9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10 times they're rolling coal, is what you're saying?
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. But it was it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's exactly the person I want behind a 100-ton vehicle on a rail that can't slow down. That's
more than 100 tons.
Yes, that's what I want.
Yes. All right, I think I've completely ruined it for the evening,
Frank.
Josh. Thank you. Let's go to Mike. Let's see what Mike's up to.
Mike KMRD is next. My friend, my buddy. I'm gonna see you in less than 2 weeks, man. We're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be in 2 Queens, man. We're gonna be rocking the 2 Queens. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Hey, it's hitting hard. So that's interesting. Good to see all that stuff.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most this year at Orlando Hamcation? I'm curious.
That I can do a live stream that doesn't break when I go between the two buildings.
That's it.
That's my goal.
What excites you?
As
is there anything you're looking forward to seeing at Hamcation, like a new radio or a new thing you find in the field? That's you just want to. Or is it like hot tubs and men and ham radio shows? Or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, when we have hot tub time, that's a fun time for me. But I don't know. There's nothing really new coming out right now, right? Like, are we expecting something? It's so weird. Like, we're back to the we got to come out with something new at Hamvention. I'm not expecting anything new. Are you?
I guess I should back the question up, and maybe, what are you looking forward to most at Hamcation?
Finding something cool in the swaps. Always. That's my always, like, getting a good deal. Like, finding something that no one saw in the swap meet and be like, that is the thing. And then to be able to show it off on my channel and be like, you don't know how cool this thing is. Oh, dude, that's the best. That's the best. I love that.
That I got on the air with it. Was it last year or 2 years ago? The Yaesu. Remember that little tiny Yaesu, the Baofeng clone?
The VX3?
The VX3 or something?
Yes, yeah.
I found one in the flea market.
VX3 is a fantastic radio. Fantastic radio.
He wanted like 100 and, I don't know, 60, 80 bucks. It was pristine condition.
Yeah.
It had the box, it had the manual, it had everything. And I literally got on the air with that radio.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, this is Kate. I'm already on the VX3. Or what is it, the VX3, whatever it is? I know. I wanted it.
Yeah.
And everyone, literally, I had a pile of people like, yes, buy it. On the air, on the radio. And I didn't buy it. I'm an asshole. I'm such a terrible person.
You didn't buy the VX3?
No.
Do you know how rare those things are? Those are hard to get now.
Do you know how many times my balls were busted when I got back to camp and I said I didn't buy it?
100. I mean, 100. I think 160 is probably fair.
We talked about it. You were there. I literally spoke to you and like many other people about
Did I bust your balls, or was I just kindly objective?
No, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just everybody. I bust my own balls because it was in pristine condition. He wanted like.
Oh no, I remember this. Actually, no, I take it back. I did actually bust your balls.
He was literally asking
I know
like
I bust your balls
$10 more than I wanted to pay. Like, it was literally a $10 difference.
Yeah, no,
we're hams. We're hams. We're cheap. It's like, yeah, you know
what it was. I think, if I remember this situation correctly, I think we talked about it like twice.
Probably.
And you know what?
And twice I still don't have the radio, so who cares?
It's I don't know if you're like me, Mike, but it's the indecisiveness about things. Like, just make the call, and then like that's it. Like, we're in or we're out. Like, that's it.
I had the Baofeng, the original version, and then the Yaesu copied it. The
You're talking about you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. The VX3 existed before the UV3R that you're talking about.
But I bought the original Baofeng version at the Houston Ham Swap.
That is
$5. There's such a story behind this.
The UV3 is a trash radio in comparison to the UV3R. That is a completely different radio.
You copied it.
No, they did not. No, they did not.
So I had this Baofeng that I paid $5 for. I'm like,
which is a good deal. That's a good deal for that radio. That is a good deal.
It's who cares? I love it. I still have it. It's on anyway. So then I see that like the Yaesu, and I'm like, why that? No.
Yeah, it's good radio.
It was so perfect. So that's. But anyway, so I guess the question to you was, what are you looking? My answer is like just hanging out.
Oh.
With the people.
Oh, actually,
you materialistic pig.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I want to see what whatever. Who cares?
Hold on. So yes, I do have. All right, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Everybody at Hamcation. All right, ready? This is what I'm looking for.
Yep.
I'm looking for a ICOM 202 3-watt portable 2-meter single sideband CW man pack portable radio. If anyone sees this, contact me immediately. And yes, it's a chunky boy. It's a huge biggin radio. That's what I want. I want you to contact me however you can if you see one of these radios. Come on now. What are we doing?
Operators are standing by.
Operators are standing by. So this is for a buddy of mine. A good guy. I will tell you that I have been to multiple Hamfests and have seen this radio multiple times. And he's like, I really want one. And I'm like, bro, I have seen this radio like 3 times at the last shows that I've been to. I'm pretty confident I can find it. But anybody that sees them, however you got to reach out to me, let me know. I will thank you. I'll give you a sticker. We'll work it out. Now, Mike, let's flip it around to you. What are you looking for?
You just said you'll get a sticker.
You'll get a sticker.
That's great. I hope it's a star.
Wait, are you talking about the star from the lollipop, like the Tootsie Pop star?
No. I don't know.
How you get a free Tootsie Pop?
I don't want to know what a Tootsie Pop star is.
What are you talking about? The Archer with the star? Are you kidding? Come on, man. Give me that.
We are not.
Are you a child that existed in the world? Or are you just somebody that just immediately was Mike at 30 plus years old?
I was born with a receding hairline. And I just, yeah.
Did you wait? The Tootsie Pop.
And
you got
aviators.
A Tootsie Pop. You got a Tootsie Pop, and you open it up, and they had the little guy with the bow and arrow, and then you looked for the bow and arrow guy with the star, right?
See, that's how most people's lives started. Mine started.
I
opened the
my
Tootsie
life didn't
Pop,
start that way.
And then the owl
about?
came down and was just like crunch. There is no 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop for me.
Okay.
Where are we going with this?
I at this point I don't know. What are you looking for at Hamcation? What do you want to get out of Hamcation?
That was the question.
I flipped it on you. I brought it back to you.
We have so much fun.
You and I
being
specifically.
No. I mean, well.
Are you going to be my plus one?
I thought that was for the after chat. No. So like all of us,
yes.
Everybody who wants to be anything of just what we are. We just get together and we have fun, and it's about meeting the people. I'm not looking for anything in particular other than a Yaesu VX7R antenna.
A VX7R antenna. Yeah. VX7R. That's the Swiss Army handheld, right?
That's the good one. Yeah.
That's the one that has like the attachments you can add to the antenna for like 6 meters.
Well, no, it's just like take the VX6R and the VX8R, put them together, and then you have a really good radio, and it's the VX7R by Yaesu. It's the best HT ever made in the world, says me.
No.
Yeah.
I still have one.
Yeah, I love it.
But it had the antenna that
I'm really looking forward. Yeah, it's got the Yaesu lean and everything. It's got it actually unscrews, so you can screw
on the top. Yeah, you can put the 6 meter little bit on there. Okay.
Did I mention the VX7R does 6 meters and 2 1/4 as well? Yep.
No, I understand. But that. But yes, and this particular antenna is for flipping it out.
Right? Who cares? We're talking about seeing friends and meeting people and having a good time at Hamcation. 146.45. That's the YouTube frequencies, whatever it is we use. 2 meter simplex thing.
146.45.
Yeah, that's our YouTubers frequency.
That is
Simplex.
where we will be. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to
About all I
mention
have
for the next week? The next week, we're going to be, as we're packing.
I won't be packing next week, but maybe the week after that.
No, I pack early.
But I'll be doing ham radio stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got, man.
I get started early. Let me just say.
Mike's going to be making us.
Don't get started early.
Mike's just going to be making us jealous with more 3D print videos and lots of fun in Proto Parks. That's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm loving the 3D prints, man. How are you doing with 3D printing? You love it, right? You surprised you never had it before this
Well,
point?
it's not that I mean, yes, I enjoy it. I can't design anything. I'm not that guy. I can just search things and then print them and they, well, okay. So I just filmed a video today.
Yeah.
Nine things you can 3D. Nine. What is that? What did I call it? 9 useful 3D prints for ham radio or some crap like that.
Nice. Excellent.
They're just stupid little things. It's another part.
I will watch. I will print them, and then I will report back.
Well, I'll expect a full report by Monday morning.
Yep. Well, no, when I see you. That's when I see you in person. I will give the full report.
Do you want to ride from the?
I will get in your car, and then I will start to proceed to give you the feedback for the 3D prints.
Yeah.
I will wait until I'm fully buckled in, and then I will proceed.
Halfway there.
Yes, I will wait until we're almost halfway there to the hotel I paid for, and then I will give you my feedback.
To the hotel you paid for in the car that I stole from my dad to pick your ass up at the Orlando airport to go to Ham Station.
Hey, I will say this is a completely fair arrangement we've worked out. It is completely equal on both sides. Nobody's winning. We're in it together, bud. But I will tell you, I will give you my feedback.
Josh, I feel we legitimately shook on this in the hotel room last year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like how many years ago? This is how we worked this out.
Literally last year, because we got bumped from the original hotel, and then we had to go to this hotel that gave us free drinks and food. Oh, okay, sure. You got the hotel, I got the ride.
That's it.
And I didn't drink either, did I? I'm like, I'm your DUI, dude. I'm your DUI. I'm your whatever it is. DD.
DD.
I'm your DUI. Yeah. Tonight I am.
I'm your DUI. Great.
Yeah. I should
That's
stop.
exactly what I want. Yeah.
I'm gonna mute.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go eat half of the sandwich that I didn't eat for lunch, for dinner, and then go to bed.
So, Josh, I'm just gonna ask this, and you have to write a first refusal course. When are we gonna hear about that nice new bike you have?
Oh, I don't know. I gotta, I don't know. I gotta figure out how to work. I might try and activate with a 15-meter handheld tomorrow. I might try and do that, and it's probably gonna be with that bike. Well, so. Maybe. Well, we'll see how it goes.
That would be awesome. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Literally. The 15-meter handheld. The 15-meter handheld. 6 watts. 6 watts out of the charge port here with the battery bank or external battery. And there's a plug for this. This is crazy. This whole company is insane. Insane. So, maybe I'll take a little ride, do a little activation. We'll see how it goes. Let me go back to Mike for a second. So, Mike, would you prefer to have a hotel at the McDonald's hotel that we woke up, the old school hotel,
no.
or do you want the one?
You know what I want.
You want the
on
one
the other side of 4.
Okay. Which one was that?
It's the one we literally just stayed at 1 year ago.
Okay. I think I probably switched it around.
So I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah.
Hey,
you do not want to stay. Again, I gotta stop talking. Call me tomorrow or something.
Okay.
Text me after the stream. Yeah, we don't want to have this conversation here.
So I have a room. We're all good, but at the same time, if you want to go back to the place we went last year, then yeah, I'm down. I just don't know that I have that cleared up because.
Yeah, I get it. Let's talk offline.
Okay.
Cool.
Talk offline.
Sure.
All right. All right, everybody. I'm gonna wrap up. And wait, I take that back. Is there anybody who's just been champing at the bit to ask a question, hammer related or otherwise? This would be the right time to do that because I'm gonna wrap things up really quick. So, anybody on the Discord or on the YouTube, you got a question? Go for it. Douglas?
Yes.
Drew, go for it.
Okay, so forgive me if there's already a video out there for this. I haven't seen it, and if I could find it, I would copy it.
Yeah,
like you mentioned earlier. Winter field day. In the rules, you're not supposed to spot unless it's coming from your station via RF. I, for the life of me, could not find any resources or examples on where to spot to other than POTA. There's everything POTA everywhere, but how do you spot to like DX clusters, or is there another place?
You don't. That's the point. That's the point.
Okay, well that explains why there's nothing there.
Yeah. So what they're trying to say in spotting wise is, so if I was operating as like a 3 outdoor, so if I had 3 guys outdoor and I had one guy on 20 meters and another guy on 40 and another guy on 80, and I made a contact on 20, and I said, "Hey, guy that I'm talking to, I got a buddy on 40 and 80." I'm spotting to tell them, hey, go to this frequency on 40 and go to this frequency on 80. That's the design of the contest. The contest doesn't want you spotting via the internet. They want you spotting via RF. That's the example of spotting via RF.
Okay, yeah, got it. I've seen some examples where people were using JS8 call and stuff like that, but it uses stuff that's already out there for like POTA spotting, offline POTA spotting for stuff like that. I'm just wondering if it doesn't exist.
They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't spot themselves. We didn't spot ourselves when I was live streaming. I did not show any frequencies we were operating on. I try and hold true to the soul of the contest, if you will, of the event. And yeah, you if that's what they want you to do, because that's what they're trying, that's what the whole goal of it is you find somebody on the air and you're like, hey, I also have 40 and 80 and 15 and all these other frequencies. Let's make a contact on those bands. And so you may throw that person around to different people, but the concept is the same, is that you're trying to make, multiple contacts with the same person, right?
Comment.
Hold on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right. I get that part of it. It's my first winter field day, so I was just seeing if there was, I hadn't come across somebody explaining it. So, but from the sounds of it, no, there's not, because that's not the spirit of that particular event.
Yeah, not over anything less than RF is. So that could be on a repeater. You could be like on a repeater saying, hey, I'm over on this frequency. Come make some contacts. That would work too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Roger that.
Yeah.
Drew, I'll put it in the simplest of terms, but I'm pretty sure you get it. But for others as well, I'll put it in the simplest of terms here. Pretend the internet is out in a 500-mile radius. You have no internet at all. No internet whatsoever. You're not going to be able to spot yourself. So you just have to rely on RF to do it. That's what it comes down to. It has to be RF only.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good way to look at it. That definitely answers the question there.
Right on. Was there another comment, or are we gonna move on?
Let's move on.
Okay, right on. All right. Any last comments or questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap things up, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Oh, we got a corpse a lot, a hot super chat in the chat. Oh, dude, I still don't have my. Oh man, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later. I don't have that board yet. The fact you got it though, 1 watt Mesh-tastic boards are out there right now. 1 watt on 915 megahertz, which is that's a decent chunk of power. So, thanks to you, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Yep. All right. Okay, I'm going to pack it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get out there and play some radio. And until I talk to you again, 73.
73, Josh. Have a good one.
Hey, I'm still on the YouTube or on the Discord.
Yeah.
73, everybody. We're on the end here. Woo-hoo. Nobody's saying anything.
Woohoo.
All right. Later, everybody. See ya.
Anything.
Anything. Bye.